Fire YouTube stream.
And
enable. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, social media. Good morning, everybody. It's going to be a beautiful, rainy, wet day. We're excited to get this going with you. I think that there's going to be some people that are staying home from school. There's going to be some people that maybe are not able to get to their work. So I have an opportunity for you to have some fun, to learn a little bit about health, learn a little bit about being well, learn a little bit about having the best day of your life. And it's about to start right now. So thank you for joining us. It's 8:29. We actually have about 4 minutes before we're going to go on due to the song. But it's going to be fun. So I am excited. I would like to say the date. So today is 9/11. It is Tuesday morning. I always like to think back where I was, back whenever that stuff happened in New York, which was crazy. I was in high school. I was in the 10th grade, and I remember how it all happened, and how the news came out. And I just want to say thank you to our first responders, and thank you to everybody who helps keep us safe, and y'all are awesome. We got 3 minutes left. We're going to get this rocking and rolling. Good morning, Russ. Speaking of first responders and people that are community servants. So thank you to Russ, one of our good friends and loyal listeners, for hanging out with us today. We do have Dr. Chapa in studio. Dr. Chapa is getting his setup good to go. And, speaking of health, speaking of eating right and trying to keep your body in its best working condition, did y'all see that picture of the fried chicken we posted earlier?
oh, Dr. Chapa.
So it asked a question. It said, who has the best fried chicken? It was a picture of Popeyes, and it had KFC, and it had Church's. So I figure that I might know the answer, but
Switch this.
I was a little bit surprised how lopsided it was.
Page or your personal.
Got it. Because
And you can watch
there's a general consensus, it seems. And then I asked, who has the best local chicken? Because me and Curt, we're going to Southern Boy Cafe, and I'm excited about that. Yeah.
We're eating healthy, though.
Yeah.
We promise.
Yep. Dr. Chop, how are you doing this morning?
Oh, man, if I was any better, I'd be twins. You guys ready to rock and roll? Could you imagine 2 of me running around?
Yes. We got a minute 40, and then we're going to go on the FM. So right now, hanging out with social media, but we can get started, and then we'll just reintroduce ourselves. Curt, let me hear you talk.
I'm really excited to have Dr. Chapa in because I have still been eating clean and healthy, except for the Popeyes that I had yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Push play.
Yeah.
But, it'll be good. It'll be great to kind of
Just turn
see
your volume down,
what we're going to be talking about today. And everything is going to be, great to see what happens with the health thing that I'm still doing. Somebody saw me the other day and they said, Curt, you need to stop losing so much weight. And I said, no, I got goals to meet. And they go, really?
You're fading away, Curt.
Really? What's your goal? And I said, if I don't see my upper ribs, then I'm not skinny enough.
But can you feel your ribs? And how important is that?
I think I don't think I've ever in my life seen my ribs, and so it'd be cool to see my ribs sometime.
Have you eaten ribs?
Yes.
Like pork ribs, baby back ribs.
That's why I cannot see my
fried
ribs.
baby back ribs from soul to soul.
I'm drinking my healthy shake this morning.
It looks like you're drinking like a coffee. Like, show them your cup.
Technically, it is coffee.
It's a custom.
It's an herbal coffee.
It's a custom Art of Coffee cup. Please don't look at the logo.
Easy. Hey, but there is what is that? You got some Greens 8000 in there?
No greens, just some glutes and the regular shake.
The glutes.
The glutes? What are you talking about?
You put
custom glutes.
Custom glutes. In your shake.
The glutamine.
Oh, GlutaShield.
GlutaShield. All right, we got 5 seconds. Y'all ready?
Glutamine.
Good morning. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. Right now it's 8:33 Tuesday morning. There's some weather going on. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
We have Dr. Chapa in studio. Dr. Chapa, how are you doing today?
Guys, I am feeling good. Even though it's raining outside, if I was any better, I'd be twins.
You know, I would like to see twins. Dr. Chapa twins. The Chapa twins.
You almost need two people.
I do.
With all the things that you're doing and all the busy stuff that's happening. I mean, we walk into your office the other day.
I know. I could only wave at you guys.
Wave through the window, and we're like, that's it. That's all we get to see.
But we took it, you know.
Yeah.
Take
I
what
was
we can
thankful
get.
that y'all at least waved. Some people think that I don't actually see. I see everything.
Yeah. Like the windows, like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a one-way mirror. Like only I can see in,
That's
but
right.
he can't see out somehow.
When I go to Popeyes, I feel like you're still seeing everything.
Well, that might be true. That's because you posted on social media.
How does Dr. Chapa know?
Listen, I also have patients that love KHA Radio, Kickstart. They love you guys, and they always come in and they say, "Those guys are crazy. I love listening to their show." And I can't believe that, Curt. He's always eating stuff that he shouldn't be eating. I mean, they call you out, like
dang.
throw you under the bus.
Ooh.
Somebody just did. AD said, so how did that mac and cheeseburger last week fit into that clean living?
Yeah.
It was
I don't know
a
what you're talking about.
healthy mac and cheese burger, right?
Yeah, healthy.
Thanks, AD. I really
Diet.
needed you to say that because I feel like I'm trying to call him out, but for you to do that just really makes it all easier for us.
Oh, man.
So we gotta hold him accountable.
Yes. I feel like Curt holds me accountable sometimes, right? Not
never.
really. No.
We downed those camel burgers last
We
week.
did.
Camel burgers?
Camel.
Well,
Is
camel
camel-
empanadas. And we had emu burgers. We had
kangaroo burgers.
Where
and
is this?
Sammy's Wild Game Grill in the Heights in Houston. Sammy's actually going to be in studio tomorrow, and we have a giveaway going on
Oh
with
my
him.
gosh, that's incredible.
Does kangaroo count as white meat?
Well, so here's how I would classify. It's game meat, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're typically as an O-blooded person, you do really well with it. B-blooded person, you do really well with gamey foods. A-blooded people, it's hit or miss.
Me and Curt are
Yeah,
no,
so-
we're A plus.
A plus.
Come on, Gardy.
but it's hit or miss. You might do. I've never had a kangaroo burger, so I don't know. I can't really speak to it.
Well, let me tell you, kangaroo burger's
Did it
pretty
make
good.
you a little jumpy?
You know, I can jump higher. I actually have more lean muscle and you know my body mass, but no, it's really lean. Like it's a kangaroo's like all muscle. It's pretty cool and it was good. So we're gonna have Sammy's Wild Game Grill in
And you
studio
got to
tomorrow.
think about it like that. So here's the thing. Odds are there's not a lot of genetic engineering and or processing or there's not a huge market for kangaroo, for example.
Yeah.
So they haven't tainted the food. It always comes back down to how's it being processed. So like whenever we have the cows, many cows these days are not fed grass. They're not grass fed as they should be. Which, by the way, if they were grass-fed, they would literally have more omega-3s in them, in their meat, that it would make it healthier for us as humans, consumption.
Interesting.
But when we feed them a bunch of grains like corn and oats and things of that nature, it not only slows down their bowels, this stuff's also genetically engineered, the feed that we're giving them. Therefore, the muscles that we're eating, their sirloins and tenderloins and all these other things that we get from the beef, now are high in omega-6 fats. And our ratio is like 30-1, 6-3s, and it's so out of proportion. It should be like a 6-1 relationship, not a 30-1. And that it basically means inflammation. We're eating inflammatory meats because we're eating oat or corn-fed cows, not grass-fed.
So the same thing happens to humans too, right?
Right,
Like
absolutely.
if you eat more grain and eat stuff that you genetically modified.
Yeah, and not to call, not to sound, I'm just going to put a play on words that everybody's familiar with, but Curt would really appreciate this because of where he's from, right? Where are you from?
I'm from Nebraska.
It's
Yeah,
in Nebraska.
So have you
Corn.
ever heard of the concept corn-fed white boy?
Mm-hmm.
So why do they say that? Because they're big old boys. How do you get a big old boy? You feed them corn. So why do they put corn in the feed for cows?
Bulk them up, I
To
suppose.
bulk them up right at the end, especially before they go to weigh in, because they make more money
Yeah.
when it weighs more,
Okay.
right?
The butcher, there's more meat.
Yeah, or more seemingly meat.
So that's why you see when you go into the marketplace, you see a bunch of things that say grass-fed beef, and that's the kind of beef that you should be getting.
That's right. You want organic meat, grass-fed, pasture raised. You want meat that isn't contaminated with fake living, because it goes the same as we have. If we eat make-believe food, the best we'll ever have is make-believe health, right? I mean, I want to say it and say it and say it to the point that people really grasp the concept. Because what you eat's important, but what you don't eat's more important. So if we're eating and raising ourselves on grains, which are not a staple, they're a crutch. We're supposed to eat grains only in time of famine, when we're broke under a bridge, when we're in the time of Joseph, and there's the famine's coming for 7 years, and Joseph raises up all that that wheat and grain. Why do he do that? Because if it's not cracked, it won't go bad, and so it will last forever, and it will pull us through a season of time when our body is not getting a lot of food. We're rationing food. So we're not indulging in it in the levels that we indulge in it today. I mean, like the average American consumes some sort of pastry for breakfast. Mid-morning, they'll have maybe another snack of sorts. That would be like a granola bar, a grain bar. Then they have pasta and sandwiches for lunch. And then they have afternoon soda and sugar for afternoon. And then they have, chicken and pasta for dinner.
Yeah.
With bread on the side. So we're eating so much grain, we're slowing down our own metabolic activity and processes in our body, that our body is naturally becoming stagnant. The more stagnant our body becomes, the more our body's prone to disease.
So last night I was at HEB. Me and my son went, which is always an adventure whenever it's me and one of my kids by myself. And so I like to eat fish. And so I went and got some mahi fish. And so on the package it says, wild caught fish. So they caught it out and it said like from Peru or something like that. And so you mentioned the cattle, grain fed. And what's the difference between like the naturally caught fish and the fish that is like raised in a fish farm?
Yeah, fish farm basically. So, and it's the same issue is what we're finding is they're feeding the fish in these farms like grains and oats as well.
Same thing, huh?
And a lot of times they're also feeding them a lot of soy products. And so we know soy is a natural estrogen mimicker, which means if you had a key to get in and out of this door in here and we were locked in, but I put a key in the lock and it fit the key, but it didn't open the lock, we're stuck in here. And until y'all can figure out how to get that key out of that lock, we're just going to sit in here and ferment in our stuff. And sooner or later, we're going to get sick of each other. Could you imagine that on the radio? Like if we spent a week trapped in studio?
It'd be a long time.
Yeah, I wonder.
One of us would not come out.
Only
alive.
one would survive.
One would survive. That would make some good radio, by the way. But yeah, so they feed the fish fake foods well when they're farm raised, and what winds up happening is, again, you're eating what the fish ate, and so it goes back to the same issue with the cows. Is we want to eat grass-fed meats whenever we're picking our game and our meaty food, but the same with the fish is we want to get wild caught. It's worth the extra $3 or whatever it is.
Right now it's 8:41. We're talking to Dr. Aaron Chapa. This is Kickstart. We're on every weekday, 8:30 to 11 a.m. I want to ask you right now, if you're watching on social media or on YouTube, go ahead and share this video out. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Make sure that you're spreading a little bit of positivity, a little bit of health on this rainy day. And if you have to be out, make sure you're careful on the road. It is 8:42. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
And Dr. Chapa, I want to ask you a little bit on something you said earlier. You mentioned how if you eat like fish or something else that has it was grain fed or fed with like artificial or soy food, that it can do some estrogen. Now, I don't know a lot about estrogen, but I know that, ladies have more of it and guys have some of it, but not as much. But what are some of the dangers of feeding like children estrogen or even like an adult?
So just real quick, look at today's young girls compared to girls back in the 80s and 70s. And they're much more developed. A lot of them are going into their pubescence earlier. They're having periods earlier. And every year that you go into puberty early, or girl starts menstruating earlier than say 12 to 13. So if it's 11, if it's a 10, if it's a 9, they increase statistically their chances for cancers in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. And 10 years ago, I couldn't say that I really saw that in practice. But today I can see that. Like I'm seeing things I was reading about 10, 12 years ago, I'm starting to see younger and younger people coming in with debilitating illnesses. And it doesn't have to be cancer, but I mean, that's just what the study that I read back then said. But it could be any disease process. And so estrogen is not unhealthy, but it's like anything else. It's unhealthy when out of balance. As a male, we should all have more testosterone. As a female, we are more predominantly, estrogen, progesterone run.
Okay.
And so when we eat a lot of foods that have estrogens in it, and we put body care products on that are laden with estrogens, or we drink plastics, which are estrogen driven, we're inundating our manhood, so to speak, as men, with estrogens, which is offsetting our chemistry. And then we're overloading ourselves as females with too much estrogen, which is causing all kinds of wrecking havoc on our body or their body, because their hormone interactions day to day are so much more up and down and all around compared to a male.
Okay.
And that's not to be insulting. It's just the way, it's the facts of life. So that's why, as a female, there might be a little bit more that they have to pay attention to in their day to day, because they do have up and down hormonal interactions week to week and month to month compared to a man.
So if, let's say that I have some stuff out of whack, I don't know, but I've been eating not that great for, my entire life. And is there a way to where I can reset that? Or is it like, hey, it is what it is, your hormones are out of balance?
So totally. So it doesn't matter how old you are. Your body wants to function like it's supposed to. And when you realize the body was designed to heal, God knew exactly what he's doing when he created this thing. And he made it so efficient that it would regenerate. I've had a 95-year-old man with Alzheimer's come in, and the last 2.5 years of his life was the best years of his life. I've had patients that were on 25 or 20 and a half medications and completely wrecked life in their late 50s, and in their 60s was way better than their 50s. So when you're hormonally wrecked, so to speak, and you'll know that because, a female knows that they're going to have ovarian problems, they're going to have menstrual problems, they're going to have fertility problems. Men typically, they have, we have this issue right now of low T. Everybody's got low T everywhere. Stick a pellet in your hiney, and so this is all real stuff going on out there, and you can't manage hormones from the outside very well. And I mean by that, you can't put a pellet in, you can't inject it, you can't rub a cream on and expect your body to be in real good balance. What I find in my office, and if you guys are interested, go to our website, justlivewell.com. We have some great quizzes and health surveys available. You can call us at 281-554-8600. But Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center believes that we can get in there and we can change the hormonal patterns of your body by cleaning up and decongesting the organ systems. That could be cleaning up your liver. That could be, repairing the bowel. That could be supporting the glandular axis. One of my mentors, his favorite system to work on when we get a chance to is to support the hypothalamus, the pineal, the pituitary, the thyroid, the adrenals, and the ovaries, and or the testes, depending on gender. But every man and woman and pubescent child should be supporting their glandular system. The more you support that glandular system with we use products in the office that support the specific gland tissue. And I had a lady just come in yesterday. She goes, I was stressed and this was going on. And when there's stress, stress causes the adrenal glands to overwork and convert all of your sex hormones to stress hormones. Well, there lies some of the issue, right? We're also stressed out running, chasing our tail in schedules that our adrenal glands are converting sex hormones to stress hormones to manage our day-to-day. And so we get hormonally out of balance that way, and so we can support them.
If somebody is stressed out, I feel like with our busy lives, there's a lot more going on. Right now we're dealing with weather. We look at stuff on the phone. People are reminiscing about a year ago, with storms coming in. What are ways where we can just relax, and how important is that to our overall health?
To relax?
Yeah, just to not be stressed out. What is the answer? Is there an answer?
Well, yeah, absolutely. In Mexico, they still take siestas. In parts of the world, there's siestas in the afternoon are still a very valid and way of living.
I take one every afternoon upstairs. I mean, wait, what?
Did you just
is that allowed?
No, I work really, really hard.
Just don't go upstairs, around after lunchtime.
That's right, especially in room number.
In the editing suite.
But we can get in there and we can turn the body around. So you got a question here that says, I have a real question for Dr. Chapa. My husband switched from sodas to water with those little flavor packets in them. I'm wondering, are those flavor packets like the blue stuff or the pink stuff or the yellow stuff? That would be a little response you can throw back in there. And I'm so proud of him. And he is losing weight. Awesome. But nothing in his horrible late night Popeyes chicken eating diet. I say that can't be good.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Right? That's what it says. And guess what, guys? Great marketing. And so, here's the deal. More than likely, they use poor quality oils in their Popeyes chicken. No offense to Popeyes, but it's all the fried chicken places. They use poor oil. And that when you put bad oils in, you can congest your liver up to 3 to 6 months. And that means that the liver's not going to run as efficiently. That means you can't detox as well from the day to day. You can't balance your growth hormone during the night to get maximum healing in your body tissues when you're sleeping. And so if we started asking your husband other questions, I bet you would find that he might have some indigestion or reflux. He might wake up at night to pee, or, maybe he'll get, at one point, he'll get stuck on his weight loss because he made some change and got some results, but he's not going to maximize his changes when he's still putting those things in.
That's one of the things that we've talked about on the show before is even just the smallest shift in your diet will take away some of the stuff, but won't get you all the way.
That's right. And look, and this is a case in point, great example. So, I want to say congratulations, because for every 10 pounds that you lose, your heart doesn't have to do a mile extra of work. Same size heart, extra miles worth of work for every 10 pounds that you're overweight. And so in this case, just taking soda out of the diet changed this guy's life. And it's 1 degree of change. So I want to commend this man, because 1 degree of change might lead to another degree of change, might lead to another degree of change. And that's how we change, guys. We don't want to make diet, because we could get in here, man, and I could share all the statistics on the sadness of what we're actually up against.
Yeah.
But if we just take 1 degree of change, and that's why, what you eat's important, but what you don't eat is more important. And so, I get excited when I see facts like this, because this guy made 1 degree of change, and he's going to get better and better going forward.
Yeah. Whenever you do something so extreme, it's hard to stick with it. Yeah. If you hey, I'm going to cut out everything and I'm only doing this one thing, and this is going to, it will work. But I think, that's what leads to people being set up for failure. I would like to say, if anybody has a question for Dr. Chapa, please feel free to ask. You can type in your question on our stream. You can also give us a text message, 346-704-1806. Let us know if you have a question. You can just type it in on our Facebook, or you can ask us through text message, 346-704-1806. Right now it's 8:51. We're talking to Dr. Aaron Chapa. He has an office in League City, and he's done some cool stuff, and we're excited to partner with Dr. Chapa.
Speaking of kind of continuing what we went through just a little bit ago, Dr. Chapa, I said earlier last week, I saw this fad diet that's happening. It's called the hard-boiled egg diet. Did you read through that a little bit?
I didn't have a chance to look through it. Tell me a little about it.
Oh, I did.
It's literally just, all you're going to be doing. They had a set schedule for 2 weeks, and it was a lot of hard-boiled eggs instead of just like regular food. But you're going to have, they had their lunch, you might have a salad. But then for breakfast, you're going to have 2 hard-boiled eggs. And you're supposed to lose up to 25 pounds in 2 weeks.
I mean, look, again, so let's just think about it. Okay. So, and this is actually a good situation, because I didn't read it, I'm just going to speak off the cuff. Right.
Yeah.
So in what you read, think about what I've always been telling you guys and telling everybody on the radio. At Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, we believe that what you eat's important, but what you don't eat's more important. So when you do this hard-boiled egg diet, and all you're doing is hard-boiled eggs and salad and some vegetables, right? Is that about?
Yeah, that's usually, I think that's what it was.
Okay. Okay, look, here we go. Eat 2 eggs on or more, depending on your weight and hunger level, along with a medium-sized piece of fruit, such as an orange or grapefruit. Eat for lunch, eat 1 or more eggs or small serving size of lean protein, such as chicken or fish. Dinner, eat 1 or more eggs, along with 1 or more servings of vegetables and another small piece of fruit for dessert. Other things that you can eat on this egg diet are seafood, fish, chicken, beef, pork, broccoli, tomatoes. Man, this sounds like the Dr. Chapa diet.
It does, and
I mean, it doesn't sound like it's any. It's not really a hard-boiled egg diet.
I know. Whenever he first sent it, I was like, "You're going to be eating so many eggs," and then I saw it. I was like, "Okay, no, it's just like you eat eggs for breakfast, and then maybe a snack, and then it's like, hey, eat lean chicken."
So yesterday,
Vegetables, yeah.
yesterday was a busy day for me, and so when I'm in the office, it's hard to crunch on a salad all day, right?
Mhm.
So guess what I ate yesterday?
Hard-boiled eggs?
4 hard-boiled eggs throughout the day.
Wait, we could have eaten hard-boiled eggs during the cleanse?
No.
Oh, okay.
But in this case, I wasn't on a cleanse yesterday. And so here's the thing. What we want to teach people in this case in point, look at everything that's not there. There's no artificial sugars.
Yeah.
There's no high fructose corn syrup. There's no partially hydrogenated oil, assuming they're not cooking with any of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even then still, what if there was, but you took out the high fructose corn syrup and you took out the obvious sugars and you took out, the artificial sugars. If you just took those 3 items out, I mean, don't you think, like this guy, he lost 17 pounds, it said.
That's a lot.
I mean, that's a 1.7 miles of work his heart ain't ever going to have to do again. Praise be to the Lord.
So we have a couple comments and some questions. One thing, Chef Mary Bass said, "Oh my goodness, you would probably stink kind of bad if you just ate eggs," and my wife was agreeing with her. And then
that might be true.
And we have a question as well.
Yeah, Amber Murphy asked, "Hey Chapa, how can I help my girls combat bronchitis? Starting school and all this damp weather has them coughing like crazy. I've been pumping them full of Congaplex and diffusing oils constantly. Any other tips?"
Yeah, absolutely. So you can do hot baths in the evening times. That will open up the lungs and get things moving. You can also use your essential oil blends that open up airways. And in the evening time, you can keep the diffusers running. But typically, what you want to look at is in case. Now I know you, so I'm guessing that they're probably not getting into dairy. But most of these kids that are starting back school, what happens is when the lymphatics bog down, we have to eliminate all mucus-forming foods. So we first look to dairy products: milk, cheese, yogurt, sour cream, creamy dressings, ice cream, cream in your coffee. Not that they're drinking coffee; these are little beautiful twins, by the way.
Babies.
And they are absolutely adorable.
You never know. You never know.
But that's true. I've seen it happen.
Kids with the Starbucks.
But when you put in so because of this damp weather, and this is a good note for everybody, we have gotten nothing but rain for the last 2 weeks, and I'm starting to see every week. Yesterday, I had 6 different infections walk in my office. Okay, so it's starting to happen. And it's because we haven't changed. We're still on summer living, right? So we're eating a little bit more sugars. Maybe then we're doing more of the sodas and things
Ice
because
cream.
it's still
some of us.
You.
Oh,
maybe.
yes.
Yeah. But here's the thing: the sugar's the next thing. You got to pull those reins back, pull the cookies back, and limit the intake of the excess sugar as well, and really help these kids start their day right. Water and protein.
How much water should you drink in the morning?
30 ounces is like for adults. It always works 32 ounces per 50 pounds of body weight. So you estimate how much water you're going to need for the day.
Okay.
But for us, adults, 30 ounces in the morning. If you could build up to 30 ounces first thing in the morning within 15 minutes of waking up, it's like giving your insides a bath. The water is so good for your digestive tract that it will bathe your digestive tract. It'll make your digestive tract wake up and say, "Oh, I'm getting ready for my day."
That's cool.
And now with little kids, so I don't give 30 ounces to my 7-year-old.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, she's like barely 50 pounds. So for her throughout the day, so I'd break that 32 down throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I made her drink a good 8 ounces or 10 ounces first thing in the morning? And so we have games in the morning at our house where we all lay out cups, and then we'll try to who can drink the most fastest. And now I know at least they started their day right.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're trying to clean those lymphatics, Amber, you want to pump water through there, limit any intake of sugar. Doesn't mean you can't give them any, but maybe change it up. Instead of having cookies at after dinner, maybe you take a banana with some almond butter or peanut butter, cinnamon and vanilla or something, and you bake it inside in your oven in the peel. So you cut it like a banana boat.
Okay.
And you stuff that thing with the almond butter and peanut butter, and you spritz some cinnamon and vanilla over the top of it, and you bake it until the peel is black and the inside's mushy, and then the kids think it's fun, and you take it out and they got like a little sweet treat that is better than a candy bar. That's better than a processed cookie. Does that make sense?
It does.
And some people might argue, well, there's a lot of fructose, and I'm a firm believer. Yeah, you're right. But is it worse than eating a cookie? Probably not, because your body has seen that before.
It is 8:58, and we're talking to Dr. Aaron Chapa right here on KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. Dr. Chapa, we got another question for you. This comes from Keto, and she's a new listener and enjoying the content. I went from 2 liters of sodas per day to 1 gallon of water a day. Keto and intermittent fasting, and 118 pounds down. Next month makes 2 years starting my journey. So I guess not a question there, but just a powerful statement of what just making one little shift like that can happen.
And we've talked a little bit about keto, and we've talked a little bit about eliminating some of those things that those diets do. And I feel like that kind of talks about the 1 degree of change, 2 degrees of change, and then next thing you know, hey, I made a lifestyle change, and I'm never going back.
That's
right.
better. And guys, I'm telling you, what we're finding is that people just need to be woken up to the idea that they are more in control of their life than they realize. And it comes through simple changes. And so people say, do you not ever have fun? Do you not ever, celebrate with sugar or different ways to celebrate? Well, no, but I just do it in stride. And I know when I can and when I can't. If I have to be up in the morning, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed for patients at 7:30 in the morning, I'm not cheating on Thursday night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to be picky about when and where I allow, cheat options to come in. And then even still, I'm picky because, going through this process, and I'll just share a little bit of my story, just maybe to encourage some people. So, at my office, I've been doing this for 13 years. I was just talking to a buddy on the phone when I walked in the studio this morning, and I take it for granted that I know what Congoplex is. Most people don't know what Congoplex is. By the way, this is an opportunity for me. I do have to take a quick little side note. That Congoplex, if it is not in your medicine tool chest, we sell this in my office, Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. I never run out of this product. I buy too much of it to run out because I never want to run out of this. If I couldn't practice with this product in my office, I don't know how efficient I would be over the last 13 years. But anytime you get a tickle, anytime you get a pain in your throat, a swelling in your lymph node, anytime you feel like you wake up and you're not feeling your best, or like Amber was saying, her kids start getting sniffly or stuffly or a little bit sore throaty, and you can start taking this immune modulating product and it will strengthen your immune system. It's got ribonucleic acid in it that will strengthen the brain and its effects on communication to your immune system. It's got Cataplex AC in it, another product that's high in mucous membrane support in the digestive tract. And what that does is it strengthens the immune system of the gut. And you have your 80% of your immune system is your gut. Okay. And so we want to have a strong, vibrant immune system in the gut as well. It's also got Thymex in it, which is another product that we have, but this is a Congoplex, the plex of power in one pill. And it will strengthen the thymus producing capability. So it'll allow the body to produce more white blood cells, T cells, fighting army support, so that your body can go out and see and assess the level of infection that you're dealing with, big, or small. And then it also has the number 1 mineral in it called calcium lactate, which is another product we carry individually. But all these this is a plex. And typically what we do is calcium runs the show. And if you have a strong immune system, it's because you've got adequate mineral levels. And what this Congoplex product does is it will strengthen your immune system, and you will find that you can perform better, and you will knock out most colds overnight. Now, sometimes it doesn't knock it out overnight, but you're going to feel better tomorrow than you feel today.
Yeah.
And it starts with catching it quick, catching it early, and I just can't say enough good things. So if it's not in your medicine chest, I've always said it should be in every medicine chest across the country. So this is my chance, and you guys can like, share, and comment on this video and just help me get that message out, because I think it's something that everybody needs to know.
I like that you called it a medicine chest or like a toolbox. It sounds cool. It's 9:02. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. You can stream us at khearadio.com. You can also listen at 99.5 FM over the air on the TuneIn app. We stream on YouTube. We stream live on Facebook. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. That's why we're here.
That's right.
Yeah.
And look at that. So I got, Congoplex really works. your dad, oh, thank you, Sue. He would be. And I think, to be honest with you, he'd still be around if he knew, if I could have taught him this stuff here. And this is part of my journey. Is my dad died when I was 19 years old in my arms. I got to, it was a painful experience to go through, but it was one of those moments where God had a plan, right? And it was a defining moment to make me stronger, better, and more effective. And, nobody really knows this, but I'll share this, is that, a part of my real life mission is to save dads. It's no fun to, wish you could call somebody and can't. And anybody that's lost a loved one can relate to that. And today's 9/11. I mean, everybody on this airway has got somebody that was affected from the events, many moons ago on 9/11. And so, prayers go out. We need to be praying for each other. And but my mission is to serve, as many fathers as I can. And the way I do that, because women make 90% of the health decisions in their homes, is to get to the moms. If I can get to the moms, then I can get to their kids. Guess who's coming? Dad always gets jealous.
Man, women are so influential.
They're so influential, man. They and then dad gets jealous because mom and the kids are all feeling better, and he wants to feel better. And he doesn't like getting left out of this feeling good plan. And Dr. Chapa puts together the I Feel Good plan.
And he wants to
There's
eat
your
too.
new slogan.
I Feel Good plan.
The Living Wellness Clinic.
Puts
I
together
Feel Good
the
plan.
I Feel Good plan. I like it. That's good. Make sure you write that down for me.
All right, it's down. It's written down. Do we have any more questions? Make sure that you're reaching out to us. You can also send us a text or call us at 346-704-1806. It's 346-704-1806.
So I had a couple questions that people have been emailing me all week would like to talk about on the radio.
Cool.
And so one of them has to do with this concept of sugar. People, it's so laden in our diet today. High fructose corn syrup, cane sugar, all the different ways that sugar comes at us, from artificial to, even natural plants like stevia. That's a 2,000-year-old Peruvian herb, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with this stuff? And sugar, when you eat a cookie and a Coke, I mean, you would agree that most people could put that down pretty easy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Two cookies?
Three
cookies. See, I knew it was somewhere up there, but I was just going low. I was being conservative this morning for you, Curt. But do you know that could paralyze, a cookie and a Coke could paralyze your immune system for up to 8 hours? So now,
8 hours?
8 hours. So now when you comments come over the air like, hey, kids just started back school, and now all of a sudden, they're getting this damp weather, and we're coming into fall, and we're going to come into flu season. Do you know why November 1st is flu season, the start of flu season?
Why? I feel like we're hitting it early this year.
We're going to be ahead. You guys are going to be ahead of the game, but you know why November 1st is typically flu season?
Why? Weather change?
Nope. There's a magical event that happened the night before.
Halloween.
Yes,
Sugar.
That's right. And so we load these kids up on sugar, running around town, keep them out late, out in that damp air, and then all of a sudden their immune system is paralyzed for up to 8 hours. They go into a sleep cycle, and their body can't recover from the onslaught of sugar intake. And guess what? Dun, dun, dun.
Something interesting that happened. Everybody in my house recently got like a virus, very sick, but I was fine. And I was wondering if that had anything to do with how I had been eating more vegetables than everybody, if I was kind of putting stuff in my body, because I was eating different than everybody, which was kind of difficult. Would that have anything to do with that potentially, maybe, or was it just lucky?
No, absolutely. This is why you're choosing to live the way you're living. And it's to be an example. Everybody is making a difference. When I find I get one person excited about health and wellness, their whole social circle begins to go, hey, Curt, what are you doing to look, so smooth and all fresh this morning?
Walked in the rain.
He walked in the rain.
Part of it.
And this is the game is when you start making changes, guess what you're going to start doing? You're going to start telling people, and then people are going to start noticing, and then you're going to start telling people more. And that's what we want you guys to know is, hey, come to Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, because again, I like that we create the I Feel Good plan. And you don't have to suffer with whatever condition or ailment or disease process you have. There are things you can do. And it does. Sometimes people come in with cancer, and I'll be honest with you, cancer is not an overnight fix. You didn't get cancer overnight. You're not going to get out of cancer overnight.
Yeah.
It's a long, hard road. You don't want to get to that point. They say in the beginning, disease is hard to recognize, but it's very, very easy to fix. We call that functional illness. That's why I'm a functional medicine practitioner. But in the end, disease is easy to recognize, but hard to fix. And that's true. But can it be? And therein lies the question. We always say, we'll try. Why? Because it's not up to us. I'm not the healer. Jesus Christ is the healer. You know, he's the great physician. He always has been, always will be. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And I believe that he's is working through practitioners to help change mindsets that will drive true lifestyle change, that will create shifts and changes in the body that will manifest health and vitality as opposed to disease.
We're talking to Dr. Aaron Chapa on KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. We're streaming live on Facebook. We have some questions coming in. Please continue to ask these questions. My wife asked, what is your best cheese substitute, like for pizza or pasta recipes? Is there one that works and makes it kind of okay?
So the quest of quest, right? Number one, a very challenging situation because there is a product out there. It's like a diet cheese or something. But man, I'll be honest with you, it's hit or miss. You know, I can't actually consume it. It gives me gas and makes me feel like a little bloated inside.
Yeah.
So what I've learned to do is just to say no.
No cheese, just eliminate it.
Yeah, and here's why. The FDA allows 750 million pus cells to be allotted in a gallon of milk. And it takes 10 gallons of milk to make a pound of cheese. So that's 7.5 billion pus cells. Okay?
It's a lot.
That's a lot. And if you guys don't know what pus is infection. And so there is a legal limit, so to speak, to infection in your cheese product.
Wow.
And your dairy product, and your yogurt product, and your creamer and your coffee product, or your creamy dressing product. Okay, am I being clear enough?
I think so.
and now we have to load those things up with antibiotics to polish off some of that infection. We also homogenize it, which means we chemically alter it. We pasteurize it to chemically alter it so that there's pretty much no life left in the dairy product. It's a genetically engineered food itself. It's called Frankenfood. And if you eat Frankenfood enough, you might be like Frankenstein.
Wow.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, we have another question. Actually, two people kind of asked this. Someone said, speaking of flu, because we were talking about November 1st and all the sugar, flu shots, yes or no? And then Paloma, our friend, she said, I've never had a flu shot. Every time I go to the doctor, kind of pressure her to get one. What do you recommend on the flu shot?
So, very controversial topic for sure. But I'll be honest with you, I'm definitely not participating in the flu shot activity. It is definitely, you're going to be pressured always. And a lot of you folks out there might have, immune compromise, already immune compromised, and they're pressuring you to get the flu shot in order to ward off the flu. But what happens is you're weakening your immune system further. There's other preservatives, there's other contaminants that are inside the flu shots that are definitely more disastrous for your health and vitality, your brain function, your immune function, than the flu itself. I would rather somebody come in this room. Y'all might not like it, but I would be happy. You got the flu, come cough all over me. I would rather digest that, walk through that myself, and be stronger on the flip side with no drugs, no surgery,
something interesting.
No shots.
Like last year's flu shot, the doctor even said, "Hey, just to tell you right now, it's not that effective on the strain that's going around. So you can get it, but you don't have to."
That's right.
Which
Last
is
year,
kind of weird.
Yeah, and you're going to get it because it's not effective. That just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But guys, there really is preservatives in this stuff. I have a mentor that for years stayed silent. He's out now. His name's Michael Gaeta. Is up in Colorado. Used to be out in New York, and he's a great researcher. And Sherry Tenpenny talks a lot to the concept of vaccines. I mean, there's a lot of people, y'all have seen these vaccine, summits and whatnot. And the reality is they're not all they're cracked up to be. There's definitely some agenda there. And, I would rather take my own chances and use God's food and real food one bite at a time to be on the I Feel Good plan.
We have another question here. This comes from Kelly Campbell, and Kelly asks, back to Congoplex, can I preemptively strike with it if I know we're going to be out in the damp air, for example? Can you kind of remind people who are just tuning in what is Congoplex?
All right, well, This is Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. This is the Living Well Show. We're really excited for everybody tuning in. Join us. Follow us on our website, justlivewell.com. Give us a call at our office, 281-554-8600. And so we have a lot of air, humid air right now. It's actually pretty clean right now. If you go look at all the stuff, there's not a lot of allergens in the air right now. But here's what we do have. We have a constant dampening in our environment, and then we're still consuming summer foods. And so school just started up, and all the kids are going to the schools that have been, guess what, locked up over the summer, right? Mm-hmm. So they probably have different things in their own air supply. Hopefully, it's all clean, but who knows? But it's common when the kids start back to school, colds start coming home, don't they? And so one of the things that we want people to be mindful of is reduce mucus forming foods, increase things that create fluidity. Anytime the body gets stagnant, the body gets sick. And that stagnation can come from the diet. That stagnation can come from sugar. That can come from the air, the quality that's situated in. And so all these different things that we teach people, when you eat a lot of grains, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks in between, it slows down your bowel function up to 37%. And when you slow down your bowel function 37%, guess what happens?
Probably don't feel good. Get bloated.
That's one sign and symptom. But what if that lingers for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, and you just feel that constant sluggishness in your digestive tract? It accumulates and ferments and percolates and turns into belly infections. And that creates irritation in the gut, which then slows down the liver's ability to dump toxins from your own body's day-to-day into the digestive tract for elimination. And now it's getting recirculated and your body's catching colds and more susceptible, so to speak.
Wow. It's 9:15. You're listening to KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. If you're watching on social media, thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the heart button. Be sure to share this out. Go share it in a group somewhere. Share it everywhere, because we're trying to spread some health, spread how you can be well, feel good, lose weight, live the way that you're supposed to, and you don't have to be sick.
So there was a couple other little questions here about, somebody was talking about, goat milk. Is goat milk good? And the answer is, of all the proteins, so let's just assume that we have good quality, unpasteurized, milk products. How big is a cow?
A cow's pretty big.
Yeah. And how big are we comparison?
Not as big as a cow.
No, we're not. So guess what? The protein molecules of cow are significantly not designed for human consumption. I mean, how many stomachs are in a cow? Do y'all know?
I think there's 2.
There's more.
3.
No, more.
Okay, 5.
there's more than a human. How about that?
Okay.
And so and if it takes more stomachs to digest the protein, because who was that milk designed for?
The baby cow.
That's right.
Or Curt.
Or maybe Curt.
Baby Curt.
Just me.
A little udder.
Oh yeah.
We are a Christian radio.
Oh, that's right. I said udder.
Yeah. It was for the baby cow.
It was for the baby cow.
Yes.
That's right.
The baby cow.
The baby, Curt cow.
Wow.
The goat milk is in the same weight distribution as a human.
Okay.
And so it could be a suitable substitute. And I'll be honest with you. So when Kinley was born, so she's 12 now. When we first got married, my wife had a lot of digestive challenges, a lot of skin problems, and what we found is she had a lot of parasites in her body. Okay. And so we did stool tests. We found loads and loads and loads of parasites in her system. So we had to clean all that up. And that was why her liver was so congested and her lymphatics were pushing trash through her skin instead of through her bowel. And that's what happens. Your body's going to find an exit for this trash, or it will store it in the brain and you won't remember why you walk into a room, or your joints, and you'll have pain in your joints, or you can't lose weight. And but what we wound up finding is when she had all those parasites, she wasn't able to breastfeed, but for about 4 or 5 months with Kinley. And so it was really detrimental, to my pride, ego, and my desire for the perfect, specimen of a child. And we had to find alternative. Well, I wasn't willing to put all the corn solids and corn syrups and the fake formulas that are available in your in your markets today. So I found raw goat milk, and raw goat milk was suitable for her. And people will argue that it doesn't have enough iron, or that this is an issue or that's an issue. But this is the thing: I have other ways of working around those
Supplementing
deficiencies. And so it wasn't she turned out fine. And it's amazing, the healthier we get. We have a product in our office right now that was designed by several pediatricians and a lady, a concerned mother in California, called Sammy's Milk, and it's a organic goat milk product powder formula, and it's been amazing for families that couldn't get raw goat milk, because sometimes it's so hot in the summers that goats don't produce adequate milk consumption for people that want it.
Yeah.
And so, but goat milk would be especially if it's raw and fresh, it's always best. The Sammy's milk that we're using is fantastic. It's been done really well for a lot of folks, but I do still have some people that can't tolerate it. So it comes back down to, if I'm sticking to it, once you get of age where you can eat, you need to dump the milk. Milk, cheese, yogurt, sour cream, ice cream, whey protein, not your friend. It's not designed for you. It's loaded with preservatives. It's loaded with antibiotics. It's loaded with junk that your body just can't use. That's going to make you stagnant and make your body slow down.
So Ashley asked, can you get parasites from the public water supply?
I'd probably not, because here's what we know. If somebody from a foreign country came over to the U.S. and started drinking our water, they're going to get sick. Now, what does that mean? They're going to have Montezuma's Revenge, U.S. style. They're going to have, some belly issue, U.S. style. The same as if we went to a foreign country and ate or drank their water, or, even ate their fruit that they washed with their water. And that's why they encourage you when you go on cruises or you go to these resorts overseas, or cross into these other places, because their ecosystem is different than ours. Would you agree?
I agree. Yes.
And so we have lived here and we are familiar with our own bugs. And the bugs that you have associated in your body are the bugs that you got when you passed through the vaginal canal at your birth, if you were passed through that canal. Mm-hmm. And that's another piece of it. What if you weren't passed through that canal and you came out through a C-section? You missed that vital piece of bacterial inoculation. The baby's actually supposed to digest all the bacterium through the cervical canal and the vaginal canal as it's coming out and crowning through the tissue, to inoculate the digestive tract in a healthy way. And those are the bacterium that begin to populate inside of your bowels.
You learn something every day. I didn't think I was going to learn this, waking up today, but I'm glad. I'm glad we learn something every day here at KHEA Radio.
So C-sections, no go.
Well, no, it's necessary at times.
Because what do you do when it's an absolute emergency? But here's the thing. Houston alone, we're like 40-50% at last check on C-section rates. Unfortunately, today, most C-sections are scheduled, or most pregnancies are scheduled deliveries. They're not natural. My baby, Kinley, my 12-year-old, she was 2 weeks late. My Dash man, he was 4 days late. He came a little earlier because his name Dash. And then Alexi, she was a week late. And then Ellie was 15 days late. And so, how do you, what does that mean? Why is all my babies coming late? Well, that's my wife's chemistry. That's how well did my wife do during the development and preparing that child for, delivery into the world? It's when that baby's ready, that baby's coming. But then we start injecting these moms with, chemicals and things to artificially, push this process along. And unfortunately, a lot of times it ends in a C-section because we wind up paralyzing the uterine muscles temporarily, and the mom's having to do all the labor herself, and the body's not helping and assisting because it just got, shot up with painkillers.
Yeah.
So there are times when C-sections are needed.
It's definitely necessary.
Well, look,
my wife had to have a C-section.
To say, when mom's blood pressure's dropping, the baby's blood pressure's dropping. Look, I want a healthy baby. You know what I mean?
That's
important. And every person on this radio station wants a healthy baby. Nobody wants to hear a sad story about this. And so at the end of the day, yeah. But here's what I know. C-section rates are too high. Does that mean that the body can't tolerate or handle, because we have narrow pelvises or whatever? God made us to bear children, or women to bear children.
Mhm.
And so if you've got a narrow pelvis, then you're probably going to, you could potentially create a narrow, we call them torpedo babies, small head, small shoulders, so they just shoot right out. That's what people need and want. So we build protocols in our prenatal programs that are designed to create a small-headed, small-shouldered child that'll shoot out of the womb. And how do you do that? Guess what? No grain diet.
Interesting.
You take the grains out and you don't build, gestational diabetic children or gestational diabetic moms.
Why are you looking at my head, Gardy?
Kurt, you got a big nog, man. I'm just saying.
My mom probably ate too much grains.
It's possible. I
Hey,
don't
look,
know.
So it was,
I don't know.
Corn-fed Kurt.
He is cornbread. Kurt's from Nebraska.
Yeah, we love that.
You
though.
know, it makes great football players.
That's for sure.
Great football players. That's why Nebraska's so good.
Big at what?
Well, yeah, I bet you there would be comments about that comment there.
It's 9:24. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. We are hanging out with Dr. Aaron Chapa from Living Well Clinical Nutrition in League City, Texas. He has a bunch of stuff going on over there. He's a very busy man, but we're happy to have him in.
And guys, Mary was making a comment. Be careful on that C-section comment. And Mary, listen. You got to understand, I'm a realist. I understand that there's emergencies out there. That's why we have emergency medicine. Western medicine is absolute the best ever if my arm gets lumped off or if there's an absolute emergency. But most of the time, it's preventable. And prevention is your best key medicine. Self-care is the best healthcare. And that is how I walk that line carefully, because I can't stand here and watch people keep making bad choices ignorantly. And I want to teach, I want people to know that there's a choice, and they don't have to, go down that road of illness. Again, in the beginning, disease is hard to recognize, but easy to fix. And that's where we want to catch this stuff. And when we read blood work, we look at it ahead of time before it gets pathologic. You know what I mean?
And that's one of the things that we've been doing with this cleanse, the 21-day cleanse, is seeing what our bodies react to in that illness. I had Popeye's chicken yesterday.
Did you really? You really had Popeyes yesterday?
Well, you can
It's
tell
so funny
because
y'all
I
are
have
talking about Popeyes.
You can tell because I have this little pimple dude just popping outside of my nose over here.
Well, I see that guy.
Yes, just literally
What
right
did
here
you
on my
order?
side.
Wow.
He wasn't there yesterday.
Oh my
Woke
goodness.
up it was literally probably not even a few
It
hours
was the weather.
later.
It was the weather. It can't be the Popeyes.
No, it's definitely because I was eating clean and it was fine. I was feeling great. Yesterday I was like, I want some food. I made the decision. I was like, I'm going to go to Popeyes.
Wow.
Now, let me ask you this. So how come? Like, why'd you choose? I mean, it could have been any fast food, but why'd you choose Popeyes yesterday?
It's close.
Close and convenient.
Yeah.
And so most of the time we make decisions around food via convenience. The average American only consumes the same 11 meals. And that's why we need, y'all need to have Chef Mary Bass come back in and teach more, good classes on how to get more food.
I don't even
options.
think we're at 11, really, honestly. We just need to, I mean,
it's probably less
than that, but to expand like those 11 meals would be great.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that we try to do. It takes 17 exposures to the palate to appreciate any new food. So just because you don't like tomatoes today doesn't mean you won't like them 17 years from now. If you eat one a year, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like tomatoes.
But you might one day.
I do.
But if you watch this. So I was just reading a document this morning. Lifestyle habits are not easy to change. They say that by 9 years old, most of your dietary eating habits are set in stone. Now, does that give you a right to kind of just chalk it up to, well, it's in stone. He said it, so I don't have to change. Well, you could live that way, but then you're going to find that you're going to have more health conditions and ailments and issues going on in your body that you don't necessarily have to be dealing with. It's just harder to change lifestyle habits that are set in stone, and you really have to work hard at it. I mean, I was 15 years old when I started making all my lifestyle changes. And so when I started making these changes, I was making mistakes throughout the process as well, because, some of those formative years, I did not have good teaching. Nobody was teaching me. I mean, the doctors were telling my parents to take me off of eggs. And here we are talking about the egg diet, right? And so the game is, again, recognizing that, okay, I have conditions, I have elements, I have symptom patterns that I was not genetically born with. And at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, we build that I Feel Good plan. We believe that all life starts and stops at the cellular level, and nutrition, guys, is the fundamental backbone that allows your body to spiral into disease states or to lift up into healthy regenerative states.
The other day, me and Curt were at Living Well Clinical Nutrition, and your family was there, and you had mentioned your kids, and you mentioned Dash, which is a really cool name. So we had an opportunity to sit down with Dash, and I was like, hey, what's up? Talking to him about, I was like, hey, what did you eat for dinner last night? I was just, casual conversation, but I wanted to see what he was going to say. I'm like, hey, do you like hot dogs? Do you like corn? Just like random stuff. And he's like, well, it was fun to have that conversation, to see the answers. And I'm like, well, does your dad eat that? I was trying to get some behind the scenes.
Trying to get some behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's right. You can always look good behind a camera.
He didn't crack.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah. He always says, hey, so all of them will come to me and they say, Daddy, today I'm not ever eating sugar again. And I'm like, yes, that's the best news ever. But, we know that's not realistically, right? And they have tried to go on no grain diets with me. And in January, we didn't do it last year. I always do detoxes in the beginning of the year. And so with kids, I'm not going to put them on some of the extreme diets that I put you guys on, but I will take them off of grains and sugar and processed food, just the same way I took them off of, a PlayStation. We had a PlayStation free month in August because the kids were they were already getting crazy before school started. And I was like, we're taking that stimulation out. I can unplug that thing. And, but we have to do the same thing. We've got to unplug from some of this excess sugar. I mean, I always find it comical whenever I go to church on Sunday, and every Sunday, there's these little round things with sprinkles on them. It has a hole in the middle. Y'all seen those?
Oh, I've seen it.
Donuts?
Yeah. Did you say
donuts?
Yeah, exactly.
Every church in America.
Every church in America. We feed them spiritual goodness, and then we poison them with their bodies with partially hydrogenated oil and high fructose corn syrup.
Growing up, it wasn't donuts at our church. We were Lutheran.
It was corn?
No, it was cookies.
Cookies.
So we
Homemade?
had this thing in the Lutheran church where you weren't supposed to eat before you took communion, and we took communion every single Sunday. And so you were supposed to not eat breakfast.
Well, that's
go
cool.
to church, drink communion, take the bread, and then after church they had cookies. And so I would go and get cookies and tea.
So I'm glad I didn't grow up in Nebraska.
Well, I mean, but here's something that's interesting, right? What if we just took one day a month and we fasted that day? And you gave your body a break.
Just water or what?
Yeah, just a water fast.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend, 1 day a month. What if we took this whole concept of intermittent fasting, and we did that, 2 days out of a week, and we really got intentional. One of the places that I have patients start with breakfast. You see, there's more than one way to skin a cat in getting healthy and making lifestyle changes and getting these processes to unfold for you in a way that works for you and your family. But it starts with you. And we pick an area and we get after it. So I like to help people start with breakfast, because you see the stomach meridian in your body is most active at between 5 and 7 in the morning. I'm sorry, between 7 and 9 in the morning. Your bowels are most active between 5 and 7. And your lungs are most active between 3 and 5. And then your liver is most active between 1 and 3. So your body's detoxing through the night. It lifts out of the smokestacks your lungs mid-morning, and that's when a lot of asthmatics will have breathing problems, and that's when everybody wakes up with this thing called stinky breath in the morning. It's not your fault. It's actually that your body's literally detoxing more in the morning, early morning hours, and lifting that gas out. And then you wake up, and 5 to 7 in the morning, you should be having your biggest bowel movement. Your body's empty. You push all that water through there. You remember 30 ounces first thing in the morning, or if you're a little kid, maybe you shoot for 6 to 10 ounces, depending, and play that game. And what happens is you're bathing all the excrement, all that excess waste that didn't get out. You're giving the body a chance to get the rest of that residue out. And then you start your morning 7 to 9 with a nice hearty protein fat breakfast, bacon, eggs, sausage, something of that nature.
Awesome. It's 9:32. We're talking to Dr. Aaron Chapa. We have a couple questions, and they're bringing up something that you had mentioned earlier. So Ashley asked, does the water fast help with blood pressure? And then Susie Foster says, what would a water fast for 1 day a month do?
Well, Ashley and Susie, thanks for tuning in. Susie, I haven't heard from you guys in a while. It's nice to see you on the air. Thanks for supporting us. Like us, share our page, comment, ask your questions. So water fasting, does it help with blood pressure? Of course, because it comes always back down to what you eat is important, but what you don't eat is more important. By giving your body that day of rest digestively, it get in all that excess water, especially if you're if you're drinking 32 ounces in a day, that's not enough. But if you're doing a true blue water fast and you're trying to really cleanse a day and you consume a gallon to a gallon and a half of water, you could even incorporate a little cayenne pepper in that, a little apple cider vinegar in that, and you really power wash, so to speak, your intestinal lining from head to toe. You're doing like an upside down colonic if you put enough water into the system, and you can bathe the tissues from top to bottom, and that cleansing will allow the blood pressure to regulate itself out. Now, will it regulate in one day? Typically not, but you would see a general sense of, I feel better. And then you do that, you do processes like that over and over again, and then you start incorporating more lifestyle shifts, and you can regulate blood pressure. Blood pressure typically is a food allergen. I've had patients come in, they got into cheesecake, blood pressure went up for 3 days. And there's always a 3-day window, guys. And this is another thing hard about when it comes to food allergens. When we're talking about wheat, dairy, corn, soy, and we're trying to eliminate these things out of our diet, people don't go get these IgE studies, and they don't realize that just because it comes back negative doesn't mean you don't have the allergy to it, because maybe you don't have an allergy. Maybe you're intolerant. And these intolerances is a better really word that we need to start defining more and understanding more, because when you're intolerant to food, it can be irritating. And irritating food can cause an increasing blood flow to come to the area. Your blood pressure might go up in response to the irritation, and your body is actually doing exactly what you want it to do, is to get blood over to that area and put out the fire, so to speak. That's the fire brigade, and that's what food does. And then to answer Susie's question, would a water fast 1 day a month do? Look, it's better than nothing.
I think it's discipline. Just starting a habit,
Absolutely.
showing I can do this. What else can I do? I can make this shift. I have a question myself. So we had Rex Andrews, who's the heavyweight champion of Reality of Wrestling in Texas City, Booker T's promotion. He mentioned intermittent fasting. That's what he does. He's also very much in shape, and I assume he takes protein. So my two questions there are, what does intermittent fasting do? And what exactly is up with whey protein?
So here's the thing on the intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting, again, the simple answer is what you eat is important, but what you don't eat is more important. When you stop putting in the fake food, frankenfoods, processed food, junk foods, your body's fuel source is going to be better. When you start incorporating intermittent fasting, you're forcing your body's hormonal pathways and blood sugar pathways to regulate themselves out. And this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. When the body has a chance to use its own resources to be healthy and strong, you're naturally metabolically more active. And so the intermittent fasting is a huge win in that respect.
If I understand, intermittent fasting is like a window where you eat. So you can pick your window, like I'm only going to eat like 12 to 7 or 12 to 6 or something like that. And that's the time you pick. And then the rest you don't eat.
That's
so
right.
You fast. So
And that's right. So
whatever you want for 6 hours.
Well,
within reason, I suppose. It depends what your goals are.
You got to remember who you're talking to.
Yeah.
There's
no reason.
No cheese.
No cheese?
No.
Cheese.
And so here's the thing, intermittent fast, it's like typically people do. I've seen all kinds of versions of it, right? But the traditional one is 8-16, right? You fast for 16, you eat in an 8-hour block of time. And if you think about that, you give, not cookie dough, curtsy dough.
Curtsy dough.
Curtsy.
Sounds like a dance.
Casper coming up soon. When you eat in that 8-hour window, now you're giving your body 16 hours to process the food that you ate and to work it out. You see, when we eat a lot of these gamey meats and we eat a lot of these processed meats and we cook it well done, for example, what happens is we don't have they take forever to digest in our body. Some meats, the more you cook it, it could take as long as 3 days to work itself through your body.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that can take any length of time. That's why we got to look in those 3-day windows back in time. Hey, I got an allergy today, or I got a pimple on my nose today, or I got a sore throat today, or I've got a rash today. What'd you do 3 days ago? So you go back 3 days and you will typically see, oh, Uncle Jim had a crawfish boil and I ate MSG and corn and, maybe there was beer and alcohol, which has got, grains in it. And you know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff in that conversation. What if there was a pizza party at Chuck E. Cheese and you had cheese pizza and the processed whatever sodas and the cake and the stuff like that. And then you go, oh man, no wonder, I've got these health, conditions this morning. And, but what if you gave your body a opportunity 16 hours to not digest anything, and then you just drank water during that time? You're doing that upside down colonic concept where you're pushing volume through the top so it'll push trash through the bottom.
That's good. And then the second part of that, like with the whey protein. So I've been doing vegan protein. I've been making sure that there's no whey. I'm just trying to do something different because I like taking protein. It helps make me feel full, I guess. And I do it for breakfast and after I work out, and it's good for your body needs protein. But whenever we were on that 21-day cleanse, you mentioned that we weren't allowed to do whey protein, which is, I think, the most affordable. It's like the cheapest, but it also has some really good flavors, and they sweeten some of it with artificial sweetener and stuff. But I've been doing the vegan protein. And my wife asked me, I was in the pantry because I still have some like really good, delicious whey protein. She's like, why is the whey protein bad? And I was like, I don't know if it is or isn't, but Dr. Chapa said during the cleanse, and I have some. And so what's up with that?
So, whey protein, some people want to say that it has nothing to do with milk, but here's the thing. It comes from milk. And again, it's the source. And so when you look at this idea of the amount of processing that they are doing to your milk supply, that same concept is being done to the whey protein industry as well. And so a lot of it is cheap, and they pile in a ton of it in hopes that you'll absorb a little of it, because it's not an easily digestible source of protein, a lot of times because of its processing issues. But I find that people have the same reactions in my office. And this is what I speak to, guys, is I'm not, you might find research, because you can find research on any side of the fence. You know what I mean? And one of the things that I know for certain is my office is my lab, and is what my patients teach me, and I learn every day what they can and can't do, because they come in just like you. They were doing these things. I had a strongman come in one time that was a big whey protein, like one of those strongmen that lift those boulders and pushes them up. Yeah. And he goes, there's no way I can live on that no grain diet, no whey protein diet in your plant-based proteins and or the meat diet that you want me to do, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, look, you're right. Maybe you're right. The only way you're going to find out is to try it. You've never done it. But right now you're dealing with anxiety. You're dealing with allergies. You're dealing with, sleep issues, insomnia. I mean, he's got all these health conditions. So he says, all right, fine. You're right. I can't argue that point. So he gets on the protocol. We eliminate the dairy. We eliminate the whey. And all of a sudden, and we put him on a no grain diet. And this is a strong man. So he did lose some weight, but he goes, I can't believe how much stronger I am in the gym. And that's because his body is not full of unnecessary contaminants in and amongst those muscles. Those muscles are being fueled in a way that is allowing more efficiency, high octane power to come into the body and to be used electrically. So his body was more efficient. His anxiety was less. His sleep was better. His recovery was more efficient. And he was getting better gains on a no grain diet and a no dairy diet and a no whey protein diet. And so whey protein typically is just a cheap protein. It is hard to digest. It's still processed quite a bit. And therefore it's in the dairy, and it's in the dairy department. It's not too far off. And when we heat treat and destroy the molecular makeup of the protein molecules, the body has a hard time using that.
We have a couple questions here. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Richard Arverson. He says, hey. And then Scott Crenshaw says he's watching from Dallas, Fort Worth. Hey. Kelly Campbell says, do you recommend a macro ratio or is it individual?
It's individual. I've found some patients do really well on macro ratios because it helps to control ins and outs. The thing that I find that when people deviate from some of the concepts, because inside the macro game, you can still find ways to kind of cheat the inflammatory cascade, or you can't cheat that inflammatory cascade, but still fit in your macros. Meaning, you could technically save all of your carb macros for a particular type of sweet treat or grain product that you might be having an inflammatory response to.
Okay.
So we have to consider that macros are a great way to evaluate. It's a tool. So I'm not saying that it's not a good idea, but I do ketos, and that's a macro diet. I mean, you're looking at high fat, moderate protein, low carb dieting in order to get that process to go. Right. And so macro counting works, and it's a great place to start, because a lot of times when you get put on a macro diet, they're eliminating things out of the diet. And then you just take the game up one level more. And when you come into our office, we're going to help you find out, is it wheat? Is it dairy? Is it corn? Is it soy? Is it sugar? Is it peanuts? Is it chocolate? What are you dealing with that we've got to take out of your diet in order to help your body perform at its top peak performance?
Right now it's 9:44. You're listening to KHEA Radio. This is Kickstart. We're on every weekday, 8:30 to 11 a.m. On Tuesdays, we get to hang out with Dr. Aaron Chapa and learn about healthy living, learning about a better way to just live your life. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you want to share this video out, please do that. There are many people on your friends list, many people in your life who need to hear this information. It could save their life.
Yeah, and then also invite all of your friends to like KHEA Radio. We are a listener-supported radio station.
I like that.
And we are we're trying to bring positivity into Galveston County and trying to connect with businesses. So make sure that you invite them. You can easily do that by just going to our page, click the invite button, and invite your entire friends list. It's easy.
It is easy. So last week we went to a restaurant. Me and Curt did. We go to multiple restaurants and we do these giveaways, which is awesome. But I do notice after we go to the restaurant, because we'll eat a mixture of bread, we eat dairy, we eat a mixture of meat, we eat a mixture of cheese and all this stuff, and we love it. It's good stuff. But I notice the little breakouts on my face. I'll notice hey, my throat's kind of scratchy. I'll notice a little bit of different stuff like Curt did eating Popeyes yesterday.
Well, even the caffeine. We noticed that last Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, Curt was dragging.
When we hit that caffeine, everyone's like, man, your voice changed. Instantly, you started to clog up. So I waited a couple of days, Dr. Chapa, and didn't do caffeine again until Saturday. And I was like, you know what? Let's see if it happens again. Sure enough, drank a Bang energy drink, drank the whole can. Within 2 hours, I would say, I got really jittery. And then my nose started to just nonstop drip.
It was terrible for me. As bad as it was for Curt living it, I was like, Curt, you got to stop sniffing. You're sniffing in the mic, man.
Saturday, literally within hours. And so I think the determination has become that even though I've lived on caffeine my entire life, maybe caffeine was what was causing some of those allergies to become inflamed.
So what we're finding right now, the coffee, for example, it's loaded with mycotoxins, and it wouldn't surprise me that a lot of caffeine-based drinks and stuff have these mycotoxins implanted in them. They're chemicals, and they're pathogens, and the body needs help whenever we're inundating it with so many other ways to slow it down and make it stagnant. And the more stagnant, again, the body becomes, the more disease state laden it's going to be. And so what you're starting to notice is what I try to get patients to notice. It's not my job to take you off of food. It's my job to encourage you to do some of these experiments on yourself and see if your body notices the change. And what I find 90% of the time is that you can tell when you take the food out and then you put it back in. It's the most labor-intensive thing to do. It's the hardest thing to do is what I mean. But it's the most accurate. If you can get a response like that within, 5 minutes? You started noticing that?
Probably an hour or two.
Okay. So even within an hour, you start noticing your body crash like that, or you start noticing the jitters, or you start noticing the drip in the nose, or you wake up the next morning, you got a pimple on your face. that's an indication that whatever you ate irritated your system. And every one of us has a tail, so to speak. And your body's breaking down right now, and you know what it does. For me, if I had if I was open and honest, I would tell you that if I cheat, I'll break out a little bit around my forehead. Mm-hmm. And if and it's no secret, I think it's a good thing. I think it's God's humor in allowing me to hold myself accountable to, hey, if Dr. Chapa cheats, you're going to see it right on his forehead, and that's the same what you're describing. You're seeing it right on your face. And that's because when you eat, you clog up those lymphatics, and those lymphatics can't drain into the liver. So they're going to go out another exit channel. Well, do you want toxins floating around your brain, or do you want to push that stuff out your nose, out your eyes, out your face? Or do you want to have, a poor functioning neurological system?
I think I'd prefer pushing it out one way or another. Like I didn't even realize that could kind of just chill in your brain and cloud all your thoughts. I mean, I know that has happened to me before.
I don't know what I mean?
You're right.
It's got to go somewhere, and the neck is only so big. And so I don't think there's a whole lot of routes outside of the neck to body as a bypass, so to speak. I mean, the brain will circulate those toxins around, and your body will store toxins in your brain. And that's why people walk into a room and can't remember why they came in there.
Yeah.
Or they struggle.
Or they wake up in the middle of the night at 2:00 and you're eating like cookie dough out of the refrigerator.
Yeah, that would be definitely.
Not that I've spoken from opinion or like that's happened. Yeah. No, that's never happened.
Yeah, right.
Totally hypothetical situation. Not last night.
It was his friend.
See, most people of the world like do the drunk texting. I do the late night like
cookie dough
eating.
So I see, and
what am I doing?
Oh my gosh, it wasn't my fault.
Why?
Wow.
So but there goes something. So when your body can wake you up and legitimately take you through, down the street for a walk, and you don't know how you got there, or you literally, like your case, you're talking about cookie dough in the middle of the night and you don't remember how you got there or how that happened. If that legitimately is happening to you, that means there are chemical discrepancies in your brain chemistry and your body's communication back and forth that we have to address. And that comes through congested, slow, stagnant tissues that aren't eliminating appropriately, and your body is looking for another exit channel. And unfortunately, it's storing it because it can't get it out fast enough. That means you've over accumulated trash and toxins in your body. So
one of the things that I, noticed so we went to the Astros game last Tuesday night. I went to the Astros game, and there's no healthy eating anywhere at Minute Maid Park. You cannot find anything to eat there. And I had cookie dough.
We talked about Shake Shack already. They have the little burgers. They got the shake. Oh yeah, it's not healthy, but sometimes, and it is, I don't know. I don't want to say a cheat meal. I don't even like the word cheat, but sometimes you have to eat before. You have to make a preparation or like sneak in something. I don't know. Have some beef jerky. I don't know.
So the funniest part, I gotta say this really fast.
Say it.
The people that I went with, it was dollar hot dog night, and so we all had dollar hot dogs.
Yeah. How did that feel?
I felt great. I mean, I barely had some, but my friends went, and they're like, they couldn't even go to church the next day because they felt so bad. They're like, I feel awful. I cannot do this. And they had the dollar hot dog.
First of all, those dollar hot dogs are delicious, and I will defend them. I've eaten 4 at one ball game before whenever it was $1. So I don't know what's wrong with them. Maybe they had too many.
I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of hot dogs.
Yeah, it's a great deal for $1.
I know, but I'm just saying, hot dogs that they can give away for $1. You got to wonder, like, what's involved in that process. You ever seen those YouTube videos, how they make chicken nuggets and how they make, hot dog weenies?
Have you seen how many hot dogs that they have to make?
Yes.
It's literally just like filling up.
Thousands.
And the one thing, okay, they are delicious hot dogs, but they're usually warm. Like they're like cold almost.
I was gonna say,
want like a hot dog, If I'm eating a hot dog, I want
but when you're feeding, how many people can fit in the stadium?
I don't know, but they're probably putting out
tens of thousands.
Thousands of hot dogs.
I mean, how do you keep that warm in the open air? I mean, because those things aren't like, they're not like, flame broiled. They're on those little heat roller things.
Yeah.
But I mean, hot dogs, they are a protein, I guess. But at the end of the day, you got to hope that it's not laden with MSG, doesn't have partial hydrogenated oil. And you got to think, when you eat those foods and you go to the ball game and you eat like that, those could be your test nights. So you're not eating this type of, processed food for 2 weeks, and then you go have a processed meal like that. And then if you notice within an hour, within the next morning or that night, and you find that you wake up to pee and you hadn't woken up to pee in weeks, or you have dreams or nightmares, or Kurt, you're at the ice box picking up your cookie dough
in the freezer. Hey, there's a place in Baybrook Mall that is selling cookie dough. I tagged you in it the other day. They just opened. Did you see that tag?
I have not been there.
I haven't either. I haven't been. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, totally haven't been there.
No, I'm just gonna turn a blind eye.
I look over and Dr. Shop is like in his binoculars, like, I see you, Kurt.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way.
Cookie dough.
I wish there was a way that I could somehow.
Just
I mean,
peek in.
somebody's watching us on these cell phones. I think
Like, just follow me around wherever I go. Kurt's eating bad again.
that's right.
It's 9:53. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. If you're watching on Facebook, share the video out. Hit the like button. Hit the heart react. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. We are on every weekday, 8:30 to 11 a.m. We have Dr. Chapa on Tuesdays.
Yeah,
So-
Tuesdays from every
8:30 to 9:30, or 8:30 to 10, I guess, like we're doing this morning. So
Whatever.
we got 2 more questions, and I'm gonna wrap it up. But so we own Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, and guys, I'm a firm believer that you can live better, be better, one bite at a time. And we've got a message here, that if you're sick, we've got answers for you. We can support your immune system. So give us a call at 281-554-8600. And if you have any health conditions at all that you want advice on or support on, we want to help you as much as we can. So there's a question here about what's the best thing to eat before and after a hard workout. And that would be, it could be a protein shake. You want to get that protein shake in afterwards. But again, it comes back down to the quality of protein. So we use, plant-based proteins, hemp protein, rice protein, pea proteins, unless that you're sensitive to any of those types of proteins. And then we have to find another solution. So it could be chicken, it could be salmon, it could be, other type of proteins, rich foods that you want to be consuming. It could be boiled eggs. But you're going to find when you have a hardcore workout, you're naturally going to be hungry. So you've got to eat. But what you have to make sure you do is you've got to get your protein fat ratios up so that you're not craving the carbs. And then if you need a little bit of carb, you do quinoa, or you could do maybe even a little bit of rice. It's going to be less, gluten laden as
Quinoa.
as a wheat would be, or some sort of grain. Because all grains have gluten in it. It's just the concentration therein. And so if we could be hardcore about it, we would take out all grain and we would live on a moderate protein, higher fat, low carb lifestyle. This whole paleo movement, keto movement process. And then you have another question here about coffee enemas versus colonics. What's the best benefits of each? And so for me, I love them both. I love coffee enemas better because you can do them in the privacy of your own home, and but they both have a place and a purpose. When it comes to coffee enemas, they're fantastic for opening up and the liver and the gallbladder and making decongest the liver. I've had patients pass gallstones just by doing coffee enemas. I've had patients whereas the colonic is just more of a bath. But again, we all need a bath in the digestive tract. We change our oil, right, on our cars. We check the tires, rotate the tires, and we do we do maintenance on our vehicles. We clean our houses, we wash our dishes. We need to take the same care into consideration in our bodies.
It's 9:56. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. Before we end this segment with Dr. Chapa, can you again remind everybody where can they find your website, maybe on social media? What's the number and where do you work out of?
Yeah, so we're in League City, Texas, Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. You can visit our website at justlivewell.com, or you can call our office at 281-554-8600. We got a great team. We call ourselves Team Awesome over there because we love helping sick people get well. We love helping people that want information on how to live better, be better, and stay better to get that information. And whatever your situation is, we believe that you can change your state. You can get healthy and stay healthy by integrating a lot of these concepts and tools. And it isn't that hard. It's just you got to get started. and you need a good place to start. And in today's world, it's just a little bit complex on where to start, and because we're inundated with just do it this way, do it that way, don't do this, do more of this.
Mhm.
And there's so many stories and of what to do that people are confused. We got too many options almost. So what we do at our office is we try to customize and tailor a program to you. And then we supplement any deficiencies that you have, and we find out where your body needs most support, and we support those systems in the body. And Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, we're here to help you on the I Feel Good plan.
Awesome. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Vanessa in studio. It's about to be 10 o'clock. We'll come back and we'll have a weather report. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. Coming up next is Elevation. Grace Like a Wave. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Dr. Chapa.
Dude, that was fun.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Yep. So what's everybody up to now? We're going to have Vanessa in. She is one of the owners of Fit 365, and she has some other stuff going on too. And then we have, what's the weather like out there? Can anybody tell me like a live look where you are at and what the weather is looking like there? I assume it's still raining. Is it still raining? If it isn't, that's good. Maybe it slowed down. Maybe the water has started to drain. I do not know, but let me know. Let me know.
Looks like we're no longer in a flash flood of warning.
That's good. So,
How come we didn't do the Curt and the Casper this morning?
oh, the weather.
Yeah, we waited to do the weather.
Well, we did the weather. Did we touch on the weather? Oh, yeah, we didn't touch the weather in the beginning. Yeah.
Guys, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Dr. Chapa. And we'll see you. Will do.
We're starting to get more interactions.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about my big corn head.
Who was talking about your big corn head?
You guys.
So mean.
It's not like if you look at your head, an average size person's head,
Nice to meet you. How are you today?
your head is a little bit bigger, and it may be because of the corn. We found out.
The what?
What?
I wasn't listening. Were you making fun of my corn head again?
No, I was just saying it's more of a fact than a
The body is
suggestion.
so dynamic, and we can learn so much from it.
Kurt,
But we just
tell them a
need to-
little bit about what we did yesterday, because we went to a couple places.
Yeah, yesterday we went and checked out at. We went and did
We went to
Children
Dickinson.
Oasis Foundation,
Yeah.
and we were able to check out one of the schools there that are helping kids with autism. And so you can go and check out that live video where we talked with the owners, Ashley, of Children Oasis Foundation.
Yep. It was very very cool to see in person, because we brought him in studio and we had talked about it. We had talked about it over the air, and then to actually see it, this is their day one, opening day. It was really cool to see. So they work with, by Dr. Chapa, they work with kids who are on the autism spectrum, and right now they're kindergarten through 5th grade, but they are looking to expand into early education, like preschool. And then they're also looking to expand into middle school. So that'll be awesome. So we support what they're doing. They're in Dickinson now, and the facility looks great, and they have awesome plans that are in motion to keep moving the stuff into the future. So what's up?
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Pretty good.
Oh, sorry.
We are also still taking weather pictures. We did get a few and have posted a few of those on our page. You can text us those pictures at 346-704-1806. We are going to do weather here shortly to kind of give you an update, as there's still a lot happening right now.
How bad is it raining out there? Did it slow down?
It's a little bit slower
Okay,
here and there.
good.
I brought you guys something.
What do we have?
Food?
I did. I brought you guys muffins.
Yeah.
But then I ate Kurt's, so I just had one for you.
Yeah. Thank
Oh,
you.
You already ate mine?
Y'all can share it.
Yay.
Okay. Wait. Do you like peanut butter?
Yes.
Okay. It's
Ooh, it smells really
it's
good.
made of peanut butter, stevia, salt, baking soda, and almond milk, and blueberries in it.
Ooh, look at that inside.
Isn't
I
that
gave Kurt the
crazy?
bigger piece.
Oh, and an egg,
Aw.
and it has an egg in it.
Oh wow.
Isn't that pretty good? I made
That's
those
good. I
last
was
night.
like, ooh, what is that? That's the peanut butter.
Isn't that crazy? It's natural
made
peanut
these?
butter. Yeah, I made those last night. It's natural
That
peanut
is
butter.
good. How did you make it? So how do you make it?
It's just a cup of peanut butter, an egg. It's natural peanut butter, so it's gonna be a lot more liquidy.
Yeah.
An egg, some almond milk, some stevia, some baking soda, vanilla, and then later on I folded in the blueberries.
That sounds good. Just when you say the ingredients, and when you taste it, it's good too.
Right.
So I had natural peanut butter from HEB like a couple months ago, and I was like, this is trash. This is garbage. Get this out of here. It was like, what is this? But I wanted like the Peter Pan. Give me some Jif. I guess that's sweetened with sugar and some other things. So one thing Dr. Chapa has told us, I guess like the stevia or whatever is like the best option as far as the artificial like sugar goes, because it is still natural.
Yeah, it's a plant. Yeah.
So our good friends at Naked Nutrition, who are changing their name due to, I'm not sure the full story, but they sweeten some of their stuff with that as well, like the vegetables and the shakes and smoothies. So I sometimes tell them leave it out, because if it gets, I mean, it tastes good, but I was like, I don't want anything. I just want to drink it like that.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to?
Nothing much. Working, changing things at the club a little bit. We are having this really awesome workout that I want y'all to come to if y'all can on
Sweet.
Thursday. I'd really like Curt to come. Well, both y'all, obviously, but Curt, I want him to participate because it is train like a Marine boot camp. And I would just love to see how he would do.
I would die. I haven't worked out in a while.
How long has it been?
Couple months. No, it's been
a couple of months.
I think the last time I worked out was when I did the Fit Body Sculpt. That was the last time.
No, you worked out recently. I saw you in pictures. I was like,
Unless
finally.
no, that was either Photoshop or fake news or
fake news.
unless you count. Well, we went and did some martial arts training at Al Garza's Premier Martial Arts,
Mhm.
and so
That was workout.
that was pretty much a type of a workout.
Shout out to Al
I had to
Garza's
squat.
Martial Premier.
Oh man, did you see the video of that? Have you gone back and watched any of that?
No, so one of the things that we had to do was we had to do tag team like push-ups. So you do a push-up
Mhm.
and then you high five each other, push up, high five. Then it's sit up where you go and give each other a high five.
Mhm.
And then you jump on their back and have to squat.
If you're wondering how much I can squat, it's less than Kurt. I got on my back. I went down and I was like, all right, I got this.
And then we fell
And then I just
over.
was like, oh.
How much do you weigh?
I weigh like 190. You can only
I
squat
bet I can
190.
squat you.
Okay, you would think that, but like trying to go
I
down
did jump
parallel-
really high on top. I've like jumped up and like, let's go, Gardy.
I know. I was like, wow.
bad.
It's like, give me a second. But they were like, hey, don't go down as low, that far down. You don't have to do it like you're trying to, buy the book or whatever. I was like, okay. And then just going down a little bit, I could got him, but like I went all the
I
way.
wish
That's
y'all
funny.
can see Gardy trying to do, squats right now. So we're going to be talking with Fit 365, Fit Body Sculpt,
We got a minute left.
the
We'll go on.
nutrition expert,
I don't
Vanessa.
know.
We're going to start with weather, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, we are doing weather pictures. We want to see kind of what's going on. I've seen some reports from I-45 now and also
What's
some
up,
other
Shauna?
news agencies where there has been flooding in West Texas City. So some homes that were damaged during Harvey. We got a report on our Facebook page that there was a coworker and one of their coworkers in Texas City had just finished rebuilding after Harvey, and their house now has flooding in it.
Oh,
So we
man.
are praying for, again, recovery, restoration, and everything else for those homes in West Texas City.
So Shauna, good morning. We were just talking about you, and it's so funny how Facebook does that, because we were talking about Naked Nutrition and stevia and some of the stuff that y'all have there. But Facebook like lets people know, like we say something, and then it's just like bink. It either pops up on their feed. So thank you, Mr. Zuckerberg. We got 10 seconds. We're gonna go on and talk about everything, weather included.
Do I need to put this on? Or yes, no?
Good morning. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. It is Tuesday morning. We had Dr. Chapa in studio. We had a good time. Right now, we're going to take a look at the weather. This is the KHEA Kickstart Weather Center, brought to you by Texas Chronicles, History, Mystery, and Adventure with Curtsy, the Cookie Dough, the Casper.
It's currently 76 degrees right now in the Lamarck area. There are showers and possibly thunderstorms throughout the day. We are now still in a flash flood watch until 6 o'clock today. New rainfalls amounts between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch possible. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms, 80% chance. There's still a lot. Be safe when you're out driving around.
So it's still raining outside. There is flash flood still in effect. It looks like there is rain and a bunch of rain. Vanessa is here in studio with us. Vanessa, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
How was the weather coming in?
You should see the parking lot right now.
Yeah, the parking lot here is kind of not good.
It gets bad.
Yeah, it was raining and pretty bright, so it's hard to see the road.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here and there.
So Vanessa, you own a club, a fitness club, and you have some other stuff going on. Can you kind of fill us in on what you have going on and where it's located?
Okay, so I own Fit 365 Nutrition. It's located off of Dixie Farm Road and the Gulf Freeway. We have a shake bar and fit camps there. But we also have another business within Fit 365 Nutrition, which is Fit Body Sculpt, where we do strawberry laser lipo. So we can target 3 areas that are important for people who want to lose weight: nutrition, fitness, and the sculpting to give them that kickstart.
Cool. I like that. The Kickstart, got to work that in. I've actually, believe it or not, have done the strawberry lipo, and that was from Vanessa in studio on Facebook Live, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a good time. Curt, you've done it too, right?
I've been to Fit 365 a couple times. I really like it. It's really kind of cool to see the energy. You know, I've worked out at different locations before, but this one has, like, the music is kind of unique, I think.
What's unique with the music?
It's a little different, right?
Yeah, we use Fit Radio, and so it just kind of mixes it for us, and we just pick a genre.
Cool.
You know, it's
different.
like that EDM stuff that I really like.
There you go. What do you think about the strawberry lipo, Curt? You've done that?
I've
as
done
well.
the strawberry lipo, and you came in the last time you were in here, and we strawberry lipoed Gardy. And how did you feel about that, Gardy?
Curt. Okay, you got to start paying attention. Like literally everything we just talked about. We also have Shauna on there, who is one of the owners of Naked Nutrition, and she also came to the club and did some strawberry lipo. She was kind of sharing that with us last time whenever we went in. So you mentioned something on Thursday. What's going on Thursday?
So Thursday, we have one of my friends. He is a veteran. He was in the Marines. His name is Christopher Cathage. He is now going to start teaching every Thursday evening at 6:30, what we call Train Like a Marine Boot Camp. It is going to be lightweight, high repetition, amazing music. He's so upbeat and just so positive. It's going to be lots of fun. And not to scare anyone, but when he did it for us the first time on a Saturday, 3 days later, I was at the club. I couldn't lift my arm. So this guy thought I was not wanting to give him his change. I guess he thought I was asking for a tip because that's how sore I was. But that was my fault for not stretching out. It's going to be a great one. It's 6:30 this Thursday. It's free with the purchase of a shake.
Cool. So it's 6:30 p.m.?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Train like a Marine.
18:30.
I can't. 18:30. That's good. Yeah, that's military time. So I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever done anything like boot camp style, because that's something that there is, like boot camp style training, Marine style training.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you mentioned? Like high rep, slow weight? Is that kind of what it is?
Yes.
Is there a lot of body weight stuff too?
We the push-ups that he has us do, you go 3 counts down and then up, and that is just so painful. But yes, it's like 3 to 5 pound weights. I started with 5 pounds, and I think he started with 8. Even he had to go down to 5, and I had to go down to 3 because it's just that intense.
Cool. Can you tell us a little bit about your fitness journey? Like, when did you start taking fitness seriously, and how did you end up here today?
22 years ago. God, I sound old. But 22 years ago, I've always been into fitness. And then going to college, I went to Baylor, and I would always be on either the elliptical or the treadmill. Then I realized, wait a minute, I need to do nutrition. And so probably after college, that's when I started incorporating the nutrition. And even more now in my 30s, it's more important because my metabolism has slowed down, unfortunately. And so being focused on the nutrition part makes it easier to maintain my weight, and I don't have to work out as hard.
Yeah. But you still like working out? Is that something you found that you loved at Baylor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So is it mainly like elliptical stuff, like cardio stuff? Because I see a lot of people in the gym, if they don't know where to start, hey, it's easy to jump on an elliptical, and it's easy to do, run around the track or walk, which is great. It's a great place to start. But is weight training important?
Yes, very important. I love weight training. I hate doing cardio, but that's what I started at because I know I needed to burn some fat. But weight training is extremely important because the more muscle you build, the more you burn at rest.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I know there are people who are worried, like, I don't want to get too bulky. If I start lifting with weights, I don't want to look like He-Man, or I want to, if you're a lady, I don't want to look like a competitor in a competition or something like that. What would you say to somebody who has that concern?
I think that if you're doing the exercises right and the nutrition is on point, you're not going to get bulky. People that do bulk up that way, it's because they're doing it intentionally.
Okay. It's hard. It's not easy to get like that, is it?
No, it's not.
So your friend who is doing the Marine training, is he pretty big?
He's super lean. Like he's about 6'2", I think, but he's like, he's really lean, nice,
Yeah, he has a good build.
Yeah, but he's not like, scary.
Like a wrestler. Like he would see like a
Exactly.
professional wrestler. Think of that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. Kurt, would you mind getting like jacked if one day you were as big as Booker T?
I could do it. No, I would think it would look weird on me. Don't you think? Like if I was
don't think
that
so.
muscular and just walking around here like,
Well, yeah, you wouldn't necessarily walk around like that. I feel like you walk around normal. Would you be able to though? Like contain yourself? I feel like if you were jacked, you would just be like walking around full flex all day.
Which way's the direction to the gym?
Yeah.
This way or that way?
Yeah, that would be kind of annoying.
No,
I don't know.
I did say the other day, somebody came up to me and they said, "Man, you're losing a lot of weight. You look really, really different. Where's it all going? Are you going to stop?" And I was like, "Nah." And they go, "Okay, so what's your goal? Like, what's your goal weight?" And I'm like, "Until I can see my ribs, then I'm good."
Why do you want to see your ribs? Why don't you want to see like your abs or like something?
Yeah.
I've
Like,
never seen my
abs.
ribs.
have you? I'm guessing you've never seen your abs if you've never seen your ribs, but that's like
Right?
a better goal.
I feel like ribs and abs are the same thing.
They're
right?
not.
No.
No.
Yeah.
But see, I feel like abs would have to be like I'm doing crunches.
No, not necessarily. If you're lean enough, your abs will be there. That's why sometimes people that are just like braille thin, that's their genetic, makeup. They don't have to necessarily work out. It's not fair. Everybody's not.
I feel like that's a good
Created
goal for
equal.
2020.
So wait, you're gonna try and see your ribs, and then you want to be able to see your abs like in 2020.
Sure, sounds good.
Okay. I feel like they'll never make an appearance.
No,
We will never see them. They're gonna stay nice and warm. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. It's 10:15. We're talking to Vanessa, the owner of Fit 365.
one of the things that is really cool about Fit 365 that we've had the chance to go and experience is your nutrition bar. It's open during the day, correct?
Yes, from 7:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m.
Can
weekdays.
you tell us some of the reasons why you're open during the day like that and what kind of shakes they can get?
We're open during the day so people can stop going to fast food like Popeyes, to eat.
I did not go to Pop. Oh, wait. Yeah, I did.
Or like in the morning, they can come by for what we have, our version of a Frappuccino. It's going to be a full meal replacement with lower calories, lower fat, and low in sugar. So just an alternative to fast food.
Yeah, sometimes just like making that difference. When Dr. Chapo was in, he talked about like 1 degree of change, and whenever you have something that tastes good, that's better for you than trash, it is good for you and is fueling your body with things that you need. Like, is there stuff in there? Like, I guess like vitamins and like stuff that
Yes.
nutrients your body needs.
It's 21 vitamins and nutrients in it, and it's an equivalent to having 2 large eggs. You have your fiber, you have your vitamin C in the shakes, the meal replacements, and then you can add more protein to them so you can feel fuller longer.
That's cool.
One of the shakes that I really like is the Thin Mints. Anything with Thin Mint kind of stuff, so good.
We went to a cake bakery, local one, Cakes by Jula in League City. Shout out to them. And Kurt asked them because they had cake balls. He said, "Do y'all have Thin Mint cake balls?" And she said, "No, we don't do that." He was like, "Peace out, never mind," and like walked
But
out. So
I
kept
should have
talking.
gone to the nutrition bar and got the Thin Mint shake instead.
You should have.
I'm working on a mac and cheese shake. right now.
What, Mac?
I'm joking. That sounds awful.
Man. So
No, that sounds delicious.
Oh, gross.
Oh, maybe if it was like, okay, for me, like one of my, I guess now I feel guilty about it. Before I didn't, but like Frito pie, you throw chili on and cheese on anything. And I like to have mustard because like anytime I have Frito pie, I was like, well, I might as well have hot
Like a
dogs.
really bad shake.
Gonna have a chili dog. I wouldn't mix it up. I just eat it, you know. But man, that was my thing. If we're talking about, let's talk about cheat meals, like just feeling good. Do you do cheat meals, or do you call it something else, or is there a time where you're just like, hey, you know what?
Oh yeah.
I have to eat a little bit of. And what's like your go-to
I love pizza
pizza? Where
and Chick-fil-A.
who has the best pizza?
Let's see here. In my area, if I don't want to get out, it's Pizza Lounge off of
Okay.
Carolyn Parkway.
Cool.
Yeah, I like their pizza.
I saw some stuff about Dan's and Bay Area Houston food lovers, the Facebook group
Mhm.
that Jennifer runs, and it was Dan's pizza. They have like a deep dish pizza, and I've just seen pictures, and I've never had deep dish pizza, but it looks really good. They should make that shake. I would drink it.
Even I wouldn't drink that.
Just a little pizza sauce. Come on, guys.
Well, we're talking about cheat meals.
Cheat
I hear that you, I have a cheat life. I hear that you also like 5-pound cinnamon rolls.
Oh,
Oh yeah, we have
We're
a
making
cinnamon
this
roll
happen.
shake.
Really?
5 pound
Actually
cinnamon
do.
roll.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
So Vanessa has shown some interest in doing this
Ooh.
5 pound
Her name
cinnamon
came
roll
up,
challenge.
right?
It did multiple
It
times.
was on the list of people who are doing it on Saturday.
Yes.
Crystal was the one who posted it.
She did. She suggested that I
Nominated.
do it. I'm not gonna do that. I would die.
How many pounds of cinnamon roll?
Gosh, I don't like sweets, so that is just just the thought of it.
See, I think like
Icing
you're
on
the
side.
catalyst.
Icing on that. I won't do that.
I feel like you're the catalyst in this. Like you see the people who are like chowing down on the cinnamon roll, and you're over here like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And they're
But
just
then-
make for a better video.
You have a bite and you're like, wow, maybe I can do this. Drinking the icing, like dipping it in the
Oh, I
icing.
can see her just like, yeah.
I feel my face breaking out just thinking about that. No.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was a thing until Dr. Chapa pointed it out. Like, hey, sometimes there's things that you eat that your body doesn't need, and it pushes it out one way or another, and it comes to your skin. I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes sense. How come I did not know that? Nobody told me. I didn't know. It's 10:19. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. I think we may take another weather break here. We're getting some pictures that people are sending to us on social media. We're getting just some comments letting us know what the weather is like. It looks like Texas City ISD has been closed. I know Abundant Life Christian School has been closed. The city of Lamarck or Texas City, one of them, I think they're closing some of the offices and stuff like that. So make sure if you're driving around, if you're at home and you have to get out, make sure that you are being careful, be courteous, and drive carefully through the water. That's one of the things that I don't understand. Like if there's standing water and people just like go really fast through it, it kicks up the water and creates a whole little thing and just messes stuff up. Just be careful. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM, and we're going to take a look at the weather. This is the KHEA Kickstart Weather Center, brought to you by Texas Chronicles History, Mystery, and Adventure with Curtsy, the Cookie Dough, the Casper.
It's currently 75 degrees right now in Lamarck, Texas. It is raining. We are in a flash flood watch now until 6 o'clock. We are getting reports of flooding in West Texas City. Bay Cliff as well has some flooding. So we have been cautioning people that if you are out on the road and you see water on the road, please turn around and do not drown. Make sure you're exercising caution as school gets out later this afternoon. Please make sure that you are being more cautious because there are going to be buses around in the area.
You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. You can stream us at khearadio.com. You can also listen to us on the TuneIn app. We stream live on YouTube. We stream live on Facebook. If you're watching on any of those, please feel free to share this video out. We love talking about health. We love talking about wellness and living a pretty balanced life as much as we can. We're scheduled to go do some stuff this afternoon. We'll see how that goes. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. We'll be right back after this song.
Heads up, our 11:30 has been switched
To
possibly after 4:30. He's asking.
I don't, okay.
Do you have plans?
Well, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Just leave it, and I need to talk to Jennifer after.
Okay.
Because she was like, hey, and yeah. Yep. So we have a lot of fun planned for today, and we're going to come back after this song. We're still hanging out. I'll turn auto off so the music will stop and hit me on the side of the head if we don't catch it.
So you guys inspired me to start something new for Fit 365.
What is it?
You know how y'all go a lot of places and eat, and a lot of times it's not healthy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what
either.
you're talking about.
I
You're
think
gonna have
I'm
to
going to
keep
go
going.
to these same places and then find the healthy options.
That's a good idea.
Ooh.
Because you can, like, so I eat at I love Papa's Seafood. That's like one of my favorite restaurants. I like Delta Blues. It's one of my favorite restaurants. And there are things that I'd never ordered there before that are better for you. Like even the idea of, hey, let me get the sauce like on the side or whatever, and then I'll like, maybe dip it or do a little bit, because I don't know. That's just what they do. They make awesome dishes. There's sauce put all over and it's great. So
It makes it great.
We've done that. I've done that too. Like we like going over to Texas Pit Stop Barbecue, and that's where you can get the Casper sandwich, which is named after the Casper, the ghost, the best,
the cookie dough.
the cookie dough.
Curtsy
and
the cookie
we'll
dough.
do like the smoked chicken, and
I'll just double up on veggies.
and
They have
double
like
up on
mixed
veggies
veggies.
instead of doing something really unhealthy like mac and cheese or.
Where was I? Oh, I was at Luby's the other day, and I got their like rotisserie chicken, and then there was sides. Was it? No, it wasn't Luby's, but yeah, that was good. But there was a place where it was a Beyond Burger. I got their salmon, and then there's sides, and one of them is like a side salad, and then like one's a Caesar salad, and everything else is like still delicious, but just different options like French fries and even like sweet potato fries. I was like, can I just get 2 salads? So I got 2 salads instead, and I was like, I just have one bigger salad. But that was weird, just to have like, they didn't just give me a bigger bowl, they just gave me like the 2. Yeah, we've been trying for the most part, doing pretty good, except for I'm surprised Curt let that slip that he went to Popeyes. And how funny is it that last night I sent him that graphic and I was like, hey, we should do this in the morning, and he didn't let it slip.
I thought it was funny.
Did you think I knew? Like Gardy,
yeah, a little bit.
Gardy knew I went to Popeyes.
I felt like maybe you talked to Pastor Kat because I had a meeting with her after I had the chicken, and maybe she smelled it on me.
Yeah.
Can you smell food on people?
Sometimes, yeah.
It's their breath.
I guess it all
They're close.
depends. Yeah.
It's in my.
I guess if
DNA.
they've like been around it when it's been cooking too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you smell like barbecue, if you're on a pit. Yeah.
Do I
you're gonna
smell like
barbecue.
shakes?
What?
Smell like health.
That would be a funny
Smell like
commercial.
strength and
Like,
health.
I smell like shakes from Fit 365.
I smell good.
Oh, we also need to know because I'll bring it up on the air. Good morning. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
It's 10:25. It's really rainy outside. Make sure that you're careful if you're driving. If there's standing water, be careful. Turn around if you don't have to get through there. Just be safe, be courteous, and stay home if you can. We do have Vanessa in studio with us, the owner of Fit Body Sculpt and Fit 365. Hanging out, Vanessa. How's it going?
I'm well, thank you.
Thank you for making time and coming and hanging out with us, even though like our parking lot is kind of flooded and everything else. So
I brought my floaties.
that's very smart. Curt walked in this morning and he had like this new look. He looked wet. Like his hair was wet. His shirt was wet. I'm like, Curt, what are you doing? Do you not have like a rain jacket? He was like, no, I have one. I was like, do you have an umbrella? He's like, I have one. I said, what are you doing? Do you not
It
have
was
like a
just like a
newspaper
quick-
to put over your head?
Quick walk to the car.
Yeah.
But I got drenched in the process.
Yeah, there was a flash flood going on apparently.
I don't believe in umbrellas.
Really?
I still get wet. So,
Oh, that is so true.
right?
But any little bit helps. I don't like being wet. I don't
I
like
hate
being
my
wet.
socks. We talked about this. I
That's
hate
the
my
worst.
socks
Oh,
being.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's nothing worse at the moment. So we've been talking about some stuff going on at your fitness club, and I like that that's what you call it, a nutrition club.
Mhm.
That's cool. But on Thursday, can you kind of remind me what's going on? And then I have something else I want to talk about.
Okay. So on Thursday, we have Christopher Cathage coming. He's a veteran. We're doing Train Like a Marine boot camp. So it's going to be high repetition, low weights, and very intense workout.
Cool. So Curt, he does some video editing, and he does a good job. He does our editing here at the station, and he did some for you.
Mm-hmm.
And how did it turn out?
It was great.
It was great.
Yes.
Okay.
The
Loved
second
it.
time.
The second, third.
So
I,
I'm still mad about that.
I remember him showing me the video, and he was like, "What's wrong with this and this? What do you think about this?" And I'm calling him out a little bit, and I was like, "Okay, first of all, yeah, I see what they're saying," and then there was other things that I think I even told him, like, oh, I would do this and this and this, and then we worked on like the coloring on the logo, like, and it's good to get feedback.
So I owe you money.
You don't owe me that. It's free.
What?
It's free.
I'm joking.
I did all the work. He was just
You did.
kind of like the motivation.
The brain.
A second set of eyes.
A second set of eyes.
Yeah.
I don't have 4. I only have 2.
Yeah. Is there any more editing or anything else that you need Curt to do? Like any other
Yeah, I
vision or
keep getting
plan?
called out on
I'm
social
waiting.
media.
I'm waiting. He told me he has all this other editing to do for other videos, and
Oh,
that he would
man.
get to
There's
me.
so much editing.
If I had $1
Gosh.
every time Curt said I could hire like 10 editors. If I had $1 every time Curt said about that editing stuff.
We haven't scheduled one though. Have we?
No,
See?
we did, and I had to reschedule, and then I was like,
See?
then try to follow up with each other, and then you're like, well, I do have to do these other things, but
So much editing.
I want him to do some videos for me. I actually have these really great recipes that I want to be able to have cooking videos
Oh, that's cool.
for. Yeah.
So it'd be like a video, like a cooking recipe video.
Yeah, so it'd be me cooking this healthy version of like chili cheese mac, just different things to make things healthier so people can ease into the whole health kick.
That's awesome. So
chili cheese mac.
I love
Mhm.
chili. I love cheese.
Have a-
Healthy?
Macaroni's good.
It's healthy, yeah. It's
Can I
better than-
get that recipe first and maybe try it?
Maybe when you get the video done.
Yeah, maybe.
you could probably have a copy yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, we're looking at getting a mobile studio to where we'll have like multiple cameras and a switcher, and it'll look like almost like a cooking show or something, and that'd be awesome for something like that too. We want to be able to go to local businesses, restaurants, nutrition clubs, and kind of show what they have going on in a different way we're not able to do right now, and we're really close. That's why we're encouraging people to partner with us. It's a blast. We love doing what we do. We have some stuff planned this afternoon as well.
Yes, we're going to Southern Boy Cafe. But yeah, I like the idea of being able to do some healthy cooking options. I don't think there's enough of those videos out on the internet, for sure.
Maybe they're just different places. I don't know.
Different places.
Where are you looking for these healthy cooking videos whenever you have gone so much?
Like on
searching?
Popeye's Chicken's Facebook page.
That's true. Okay. I can't believe they don't have that.
No?
Yeah, but even still, like Popeyes doesn't have any cooking videos because they want you to buy Popeyes chicken. But if you have somebody like Vanessa, just like encouraging health and living well and just being better, then yeah, they would encourage that.
How can people get in contact with you to kind of learn more about Fit 365 Nutrition?
Well, they can go to our Facebook page, or they can always go to fit365nutrition.com, which I recommend that they do that because they can register for a free shake on their first visit. They might as well get a free shake whenever they come in.
Cool.
And our phone number is 832-850-6951.
Awesome.
www.fit365.com. Go in there now. I'm going to sign up for my own shake.
Fit365nutrition.com. Not that
Oh.
one. That's not me.
Oh, I was going to say, where's my free shake?
Come on, Curt. Get that free
Oh,
shake.
that's a nice website. Maybe you can beef up my website too.
Ooh,
Ooh.
He did a really good website for me for Fit Body Sculpt.
cool.
Yep.
So Fit Body Sculpt, that is the other business that operates within
Yes.
Fit 365. How long has Fit 365 been there?
It'll be, it's been over a year in July. So I don't know, like what, 15 months?
Cool.
15 months only?
Yeah, it's just a baby.
You need to go check out that gym,
Yes.
Gardy, because, oh my gosh, why can't, okay, because I keep going back to the same website.
It's
Check it
right
out
there. You can
because-
see on the right side.
What am I checking out, Curt?
The gym, it's really kind of cool. When you walk in, it's a big open space. It's in a warehouse kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I like, it's air conditioned.
Mhm.
So you can actually like not
Is that
have to-
cheating?
No, you definitely need air conditioning.
We have some cool events too. We have like glow in the dark boot camps.
Yeah.
We just got done with yoga, but we have mommy and me. So
Y'all need
it's
to
a
have
lot
goat
of fun.
yoga.
Oh, I
Could
was
you bring
thinking
some
about
goats in?
hug yoga.
Pug yoga would work
I love
too.
Hugs, so
Wow.
yeah.
That'd be fun.
Hug yoga?
Pug.
Pug with
Oh.
the dog.
What's a pug?
You know what a pug pugs.
You have pugs?
Yes.
Okay.
She sends me pugs like every day.
I was
She's
like, this could be you if you were cool enough to have a pug.
Oh,
She's like,
funny.
this is why you don't have a girlfriend. You don't have a pug.
That's probably true. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. We're going to take a break. Coming up next is Blanca.
What was he gonna say?
Thank you for coming in.
No problem. Thank y'all for having me.
Sorry
Thank you
we
for
couldn't
bringing
have
us
you.
that muffin.
Oh my gosh,
That
the
was
muffin was
awesome.
good. Hey, where's my coupon?
Next time I'll give you another one. What does it say?
That just says upgrade.
You probably are already registered.
Dang, I can't get my
Touche.
free shake.
Just put it in there and it'll send me a thing. And then I was like, oh, Kurt is going to come get a free shake.
I'm coming to get a free shake. I need a cookie dough monster.
Is that one of them?
No, it's now is though a cookie dough with like thin mint chocolate in it. Let's see what else could you add? Oreos.
Just all the
Butterfinger.
cookies together.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Join the club. There's a premium fee
Oh,
to join.
mind.
I'm just kidding.
And every time he says that nog gets a little bit bigger. It just dude.
Y'all definitely should come by.
Cool.
On Thursday, what time on Thursday?
6:30. Y'all really should come to that. That'd be funny. I'd love to see you.
Funny. Whoa.
This is my hot dog costume.
Oh, goodness. No.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll see you later.
We'll see ya.
Guys.
Thanks, Vanessa.
So Facebook, what's up, everybody? Hopefully everyone is doing good today. We are having fun. We hung out with Dr. Aaron Chapa. We also hung out with Vanessa. She brought us a muffin that she made. It was peanut butter. It was made with almond milk. It was made with some other things that were delicious. I don't even know. What's up, Sarah? How's Hidden Lakes holding up? Is there any water collecting in the streets? Are you at home? What's going on?
That water in Bay Cliff.
Is it still raining outside? We've been locked in here for a while, and we need a window outside of our window to let us know what's up. I'm guessing Creek is still having school today, right? Because Texas City, no school, and there's some other places that are having no school. So Hidden Lakes is good, all dry. That's what's up. I know some people I saw on the Facebook group. Oh, good. The rain stopped there too. I saw on the Hidden Lakes Facebook group that somebody had said like the hours of raining, in the middle of the night, they kind of start having almost like PTSD about it. A year removed from last year, Harvey, when everybody was affected in some way, some more than others, I suppose. But yeah.
There's
Just to
a
see
lot
the
of
streets flood and pictures and all that stuff.
I'm getting reports from Texas City of still flooding houses that are taking in water. I don't know how much water, but we are getting reports of that. So,
hey, we should see the service roads are bad. So the feeders. I saw on the Amber Alert signs where you see stuff like roadways and all that it says 1765 had standing water at the feeder. So that's right here in Lamarck. So be careful if you are out on the roads. And we do encourage you, text us pictures of where you're at if the roadways are holding water, even if it's dry. We want to see pictures so that way we can let people know where in League City, where in Lamarck and Texas City, where there's water, where in Bay Cliff. So 346-704-1806. Send us a text with a picture. Let us know where you're at, and we want to know what the conditions are. 346-704-1806. That means you, Sarah. We want you to send a picture. and everybody else.
flooding in Texas City.
Wow, Texas City. That's no bueno. Hey, that 46786 number, is that like the city of Texas City updates or something, or what is that?
Which one?
The one that just sent a text to our Google number. So here we go. Sarah said, my son was freaking out on the way to school because he saw water collecting on the road. He said, oh no, it's going to flood again. Yeah, that's sad. But I'm glad that y'all were able to get to school and everybody is safe over there in your camp. I'm glad, I guess, that the rain stopped over there. Hopefully it kind of stops enough for the water to drain. We need to work on our drainage plans. What's happened in the year since Harvey? You know, what things have taken place for us as a city and for us as a community to ensure that we have better drainage, that the places like in in Texas City that are flooded today. Like, what did we do? Did we do anything? We knew these storms were. I mean, it's hard to say it. I don't know how much I should talk about it, but I know last year before Harvey, the city of Lamarck, I saw them out there, pretty much in the rain, trying to grade the ditches, so that way, up and down here where we're located, that it would hopefully help people out, and that probably did save our station and our church where we broadcast from. If the Sydney wouldn't have done that, because the water came up to the doors. It came up to the doors and then receded. It came up to the doors. So if they wouldn't have regraded the ditches, we would have been in water damage from the outside, flooding. So hopefully we can get some regrading done. Maybe, I don't know. What's the answer? I don't know.
I don't know the answer either, but looking at these homes in West Texas City is tough to see. Again, people who are, cars who are underwater, houses where it looks like there's significant water in homes in West Texas City. It's tough to see, but we believe here at KHEA Radio that only good will come from this.
Yeah. And even if you're listening to us right now and you share out this video, or maybe you yourself will be inspired to hopefully lend a helping hand to a neighbor, like to a literal neighbor or somebody in Texas City, like League City, Texas City, like Bay Cliff. We're all together, Lamarck, Hitchcock, Santa Fe. We are neighbors. So we like to spread a little bit of positivity when we can, because we believe that whenever things like this come, whenever like turmoil and tribulation and it's like a battle is what it is. Like, hey, we need to spread as much positivity, spread as much awareness that there is things like this going on, that we need to come together and help those people out, because those people are going to need to rebuild their homes. And who's going to help them do it? Me and you, we can help, and we can spread the word that this is happening, and we need to come together and do something.
I feel bad. Like, I feel bad for the people with like carpet or stuff like, oh, that's gonna have to come back up again.
Yeah.
We got someone on our Facebook page who commented and said that they had just finished recovering from Harvey, just rebuilding, and then all of a sudden this happened today, and they're gonna have to go back and do it all again, which kind of stinks.
Yeah, I'm hoping. We had Ricardo in here talking about the importance of insurance, and the insurance is important. That's all I can really say about that. And I'm hoping that some people that are affected, it doesn't make it any better if you have insurance in the moment, but financially it can help. But man, just keep those people in prayer, and more than just praying, actually, if you have the ability, if you have the stamina, if you have the health to do it, let's go help some people. I think we can connect with some of those people that are affected by this, and we can help get them back on their feet.
If you know anyone who's been affected by today's flooding, please reach out to us and let us know so we can find a way to help out.
Yeah. Sarah, who is, I think, the founder and president of Moms on a Mission, MOM, I said, not sure if we can help, but the people can contact Moms on a Mission, MOM, on Facebook, and we could see what contacts we have. So that is one resource. Moms on a Mission, they started last year and are a nonprofit that has helped specifically families affected by Harvey, and have done some cool stuff. They've had fundraisers. They've been working and handing out appliances, handing out sheetrock, helping people in the community. And that's what we need. We need people who just have that little bit of inspiration. If everybody who has that inspiration just rises up and does something, we can, you can make a difference. And if you think like, hey, I'm one person, what can I do? No, I promise you put some effort forth, even if it's like making a post on Facebook or finding an organization like Moms on a Mission, and get with them, because they need volunteers. They need all kinds of stuff, resources, like Sarah said. And also they need money and donations and just time. And there's all kinds of stuff that you can do. Maybe you don't have time. Maybe you're fortunate you weren't flooded, and you can make $10, $20, $100, a donation to make sure that somebody else can get the help that they need. But yeah, it's 10:42 right now. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. We stream live on Facebook pretty much every weekday. And we had Dr. Chop on. We had Vanessa in studio. And we have some stuff scheduled for the rest of the day. We're trying to make sure that we're still going to be able to do it. I'm not sure. We haven't really been able to look outside since about 8 o'clock because we've been in here in this radio room. And we need a window outside. That's how we're asking people to send in pictures. If you know somebody that has pictures, send them as a text or put them on our Facebook wall on KHEA Radio's Facebook. So 346-704-1806. And I just want to encourage you to save that number in your phone, because if you ever just want to text, if you have an issue, if you are looking for a resource, because me and Curt, our radio station in like people is small, but in resources, we're growing every day, and we're meeting people who are a lot more resourceful than we are. And we try to connect with them because we want to help as many people as we can have either like a better life, a healthier life. If they're having issues in their life, we want to be able to point them in the right direction to get help, or we can help them ourselves.
Yes. We have Sammy's Wild Game Grill coming in tomorrow for tomorrow's show. That's going to be a fun show. If you're not doing anything, make sure that you tune in at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Sammy's Wild Game Grill. They do kangaroo burgers. They do camel empanadas. They have pheasant.
So
jalapenos.
It was stuffed pheasant jalapenos, and that was probably my favorite thing that we tried. And so in the video, I may have pronounced it wrong, but we'll see. I'm going to see if there's any backlash on people being like, what is this dude saying? So y'all look for that and let me know if y'all notice. Or they may think that I'm just saying a different word. That's like, oh, what's this exotic animal or what's this wild game that we've never heard of before? So we'll see. It's 10:44 right now. I assume our Facebook has probably been pretty active because
it's been crazy. I've been trying to manage it all.
Yeah.
I've been on my phone the whole time. Just
whenever Vanessa was here, like I literally had talked about that, and we talked about everything, and then I had said, Curt, how was your experience with the doing the strawberry laser lipo and all that stuff? And you were like, oh, the gym's great. And then you started talking about that in the shake, and you were like, Gardy, how was your experience about the strawberry lipo? You did and I just literally everything we had talked about, you had just said. I was like, okay. And I didn't know what to say. Like, okay, let me just repeat everything I just said and handed it off to him.
It was bad. We're also getting comments about, things with the flooding and effects to our meetings this afternoon. And so just making sure.
Can we move up Southern Boy? He may be busy for lunch. I don't know.
Let me call it.
So that 11:30 is definitely has to be pushed, right?
Yeah, he said he had some stuff going on.
But
maybe we could move him up to lunchtime and then do Manish at 3.
Yeah, so I'm saying that would be awesome. So we have a busy day that we're going to try and get everything done that we had scheduled. If not, I mean, it's totally understandable. And we'll just reschedule.
Phone number?
I would call him through Facebook. Call him through the Facebook app. Hey, this is Curt Casper, KHEA Radio. I'm hungry. When Curt really means something, he throws that soft palate up. If you don't know what your soft palate is, like whenever you're supposedly supposed to talk that way, and whenever you sing and do stuff, there's something in the back of your mouth where if you say certain words, it lifts up and it helps you like get air better and breathe better and sing better, sustain the note. So Curt says hungry, so go, I'm hungry. So like he says these words and like I can tell the soft palate lifts. Oh, you got his card? You know what they should make? They should make an app that you take a picture of a card.
I'm sure they probably have one.
You think it would automatically file it in alphabetical order though? Like just from the information on there? That's what I want. where it can like scan the text and automatically put it in like a digital app Rolodex. If not, somebody get on that.
We need that app.
Let me know when you're done. Because business cards are probably still the best way to hand out your information really quick. There has to be a better way. Yeah. But we're supposed to go to Southern Boy today. It was supposed to be at 3. We had another meeting at 11:30, which we're moving some stuff around due to the event today. So if you are watching this, feel free to share this video out. Make sure you're liking KHEA Radio on Facebook. We would love to have you hang out with us every day. This is your new morning routine. This is the best way you can start your day. And we like to try and bring a positive light and a positive experience to things when we can. And today is no different. That's what we like to do. That's what we're going to continue to do. It's part of our vision to spread positivity in the community, to focus on our community and help build each other up and just be good neighbors. So that's who we are. And that's what part of our working mission statement is. If you have any questions for us, feel free to ask. A lot of people today on the show were saying, hey, this is my first time to tune in to KHEA. I've never heard of you guys before. And it seems like there's new people every day that pop up with that story. And they continue to pop back in. So that's really cool to see, because here on Facebook and on social media, KHEA in general, like, we're just a big family. And we don't consider people that hang out with us like, oh, we have fans. Like, no, that's not the case. We just have like a large family. And so it's nice to see like familiar names pop up on our feed. And I'm thinking of like Sarah and Russ and Vanessa and Chef Mary and Joe, and just all these people that we would have no idea. We wouldn't have the opportunity to meet them, but going out into the community, we have been met with support, and we appreciate that. And we definitely want to spread that support to everybody doing cool things in the community, spreading positivity. So again, if you are driving today, make sure that you're careful. Make sure that you don't just like run through puddles and run someone else off the water, like off the road or anything like that. But it is flooding in certain places, and hopefully the rain will subside and go away, and people can assess what's going on.
Luckily, I think the rains are starting to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
And so hopefully the flooding will go away for a little bit. We are expected to get more
rain
in the next couple of days. And so hopefully it can die down a little bit.
Yeah. And if you do listen to 99.5 FM, or you listen to khearadio.com to our stream, we are like the emergency alert for Galveston County, where if needed, they can take over our system and they will broadcast those emergency alerts. Like the flash floods have probably been going off during our show, I assume, which is perfectly fine. It helps people stay safe, be safe, plan ahead. Hey, I saw some pictures from the Laundered with Kindness the Cambrel Foundation did over the weekend, and that was cool to see.
The Cambrel Foundation is really awesome.
Laundered with Kindness Day. It was this past Saturday. It was an official day in Lamarck, Texas, where they encouraged people to go to laundromats, go to places where people were doing laundry and just helping spread an act of kindness. They have these bracelets. I'd been wearing one. So it's a hashtag righteous acts, and on the back it has a heart with kindness. And it's just to serve as a reminder to spread kindness. Just do a small act, even helping somebody fold their clothes, like laundry. And it doesn't have to be that day. You can do that any day of the year. I promise you. I'm sure there are people who enjoy going to the laundromat, but for the most part, I bet most people wish they could be somewhere else doing something else. And, that's not always the case. So you got to go and help people. Maybe they have a family or they have young kids there, and they're trying to watch the kids and do the laundry and keep the kids entertained and out of trouble. So it's always beneficial, any little help that you can get in a situation like that. So they were outside handing people quarters, like, here you go. Here's a blessing. here's, just an act of kindness, pay it forward, and then that person hopefully will pay it forward to someone else, and the cycle goes on. And that's just a part of being good neighbors, being a awesome community. And that's what we like to hear about. That's what we like to talk about here on KHEA radio. And we'll continue to do that till they make us and force us to stop somehow. But I don't see that ever happening. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. We had a bunch of fun so far. If you're watching, feel free to hit the like, hit the react, share this video out. We're trying to connect with people who are either that have been affected by this water and the flooding that's happened today. We want to see pictures. If there's anything that we can do to help, if there's any resources that we can spread around, we would love to be able to do that. We saw that there are some homes in West Texas City that have been flooded, that I think like in Bay Cliff, maybe there was some flooding. I'm not sure what the effects is like. And I'm sure people aren't even sure, because if the water hasn't subsided, you don't even know. But us as a community, we have been in a big rebuilding stage in the past year due to the effects of Harvey that we some people have recovered from, but it's hard to it's easy to forget rather, but some people have not even fully recovered from Harvey, and now this other stuff comes in, and it's just not good. So we need to come together in this time. Did you message Chris?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get a hold of him.
Okay.
Facebook message and messaged. I did see, it's kind of cool. Chris at Southern Boy Cafe is offering 50% off all meals today if you are in uniform or show your ID.
Yeah,
because of 9/11.
That was in memory of 9/11, which was today
really
too.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. I saw that this morning. So yeah, on 9/11, what were you doing?
I was in 7th grade.
You're in school?
I was in school. I remember being in homeroom, which was
what
second
year did
period.
you graduate?
2007.
Okay.
So I remember being in homeroom, and one of the other teachers came in and said, "Turn on the TV to ABC now."
Yeah.
And we're like, so the teacher did. And we flipped over, and I was like, "What the heck is happening?" And I just remember being in awe, like, "Oh my gosh, is this real life?" kind of thing. And I remember getting to like math class, which was like 4th period, which was about the time that 1st and 2nd towers fell. And the math teacher goes, "We're not watching this. You're gonna know we have school and stuff to do here." And so we actually focused on that.
Were you in school all day?
Yeah, we were in school all day. We didn't get out.
Well, I remember I was in 10th grade and we watched it.
10th grade?
I was in 10th grade, yeah. I graduated in 2004.
3 years? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't think I'm necessarily 3 years older than you. I kind of have a later birthday in the school year, and you have like an early birthday in your school year. So anyways, yeah. So we're talking a little bit about 9/11 and reflecting on that. So I was in the 10th grade, and it was 1st period, and one of our friends came in. His name's Dustin, and he kind of mentioned, actually, no, it was another girl. And then Dustin was we were talking about it. I remember. So we ended up turning the TV on, and then they sent everybody home. Yeah, we all went home like that. I think they did that all around here. And there was some concern because of all the refineries and all the stuff that they have. But they said, "Hey, we want to get everybody out here, be with your parents, and then you can, do whatever you need to do." But there was just you understand what I'm saying?
I remember too, because so Omaha, Nebraska is home to the biggest Air Force base, Offutt Air Force Base.
Yeah.
And so that was some concern as well. But that's actually George Bush, because he was in Atlanta, if I remember correctly, the president at the time, President George Bush, he got on a plane and actually went to Omaha, like went and was bunkered down inside of Offutt Air Force Base. That's actually come out that's where he was
kind of
bunkered
makes
at.
Sense.
And so I remember too, the craziest part about 9/11 was I never thought of this, but when I moved from Nebraska, like 9/11, like the anniversary really wasn't like a big deal for us. It just didn't like, it
Really?
wasn't like it didn't like, it wasn't like every day, every time we remembered it, you know, kind of thing in Nebraska. But when I went to Vermont, I remember sitting in my first, like, cause it was September, it was our first all school assembly in Vermont. They like had like videos and we remember stuff. And I'm like, we never did this in Nebraska. But then I was thinking like, oh my gosh, there are people in Vermont who probably had relatives in New York who died inside of New York City. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's a different culture than what I've ever had. I'm not trying to disrespect what happened, but that was a different culture for me, a culture shock of a difference from moving from Nebraska to Vermont, just being that close to where it actually happened.
Over here, it was a big deal. Like growing up here, we were, taught to, I don't know, just like pay respects and just kind of remember that. And literally the tagline that people came out with was like, never forget. Yeah. Literally never forget. And in Houston, like with Houston being a big city, like our refineries, and there was a bunch of stuff that we were just because you didn't know what's going on, like what's going to happen next. What does this mean? But yeah, it was definitely like heightened.
I've been to the 9/11 memorial a couple times now. I was there in New York City, probably not even a year after in 2002. It was crazy.
I've been too. It's pretty, it's surreal to take in. Right now we have 20 seconds left in the end of this song, which is by Bethel, one of my favorite groups. It's 10:58. We're going to end the show today and get some work done, go out in the community and try and spread some positive news. So hopefully y'all do the same today. Stay dry and just be safe. Good morning. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
And this is Tuesday. Me and Curt were just kind of reminiscing a little bit, kind of paying memories and just talking about where we were during, 9/11, whenever the event happened. And we just want to say thank you to our first responders and thank you to the people that have just come together as a community and helped us rebuild in New York. And you've been to the memorial now?
I have been to the memorial. I was there less than a year. I was in there in February 2002, so it wasn't even like 6 months even that I was over in New York City and had seen kind of like ground zero and what was on the, they were still moving away rubble. And it was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe what happened here 6 months ago. And I was only I think I was in 7th grade at the time.
Wow.
And so it was kind of still surreal to me to see that.
Yeah, the first time I went to New York City was in 2007. So I was already considered an adult. And it was with music. So my band was out touring and we had stopped in New York. And they hadn't built, the memorial and all that stuff. It was in process. And then I've been back a couple times and it was, very surreal to be there and just like everything about it, it's something that I'm glad I was able to go see and do. And I would go back again,
The memorial is so amazing. I do want to give a quick shout out to Southern Boy Cafe. In order, like today, if you are in uniform or you show your ID badge, you'll get 50% off a meal. So that's a thank you to all the first responders in the area.
Yeah, you're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. It's 11 o'clock. This has been Kickstart. We're on till 11 a.m. every weekday. And we just want to encourage you to be safe. The rain hopefully is going down. If there's any flooding in the streets, hopefully it'll slow up a little bit so you can get to where you need to go. But we just want to encourage you to be safe and help your neighbors out, help your fellow community out, because there are some people who have been flooded. We're getting reports of that and have seen some pictures and have been following our partner I-45 Now on social media as well, kind of seeing what's going on out there. So make sure you're safe. If there's standing water and it's too big, you don't know, just turn around. If it's enough to drive through and you can actually see the road, don't go zipping down the road, just go slow and be careful. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:30. I think we have a new giveaway kicking off.
Tomorrow morning.
Be excited.
Stay tuned.
Coming up next is DC Talk, KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. We'll be back again, 8:30 in the morning tomorrow, Wednesday. All right, we're going to end our streams. So y'all have an awesome day. Love you guys. Be safe. Facebook off. Done. Video
This is Curt.
posted.
Hey, Chris,
YouTube.
how are you doing?
End stream.